What is going on? What's going on, everybody? Come on in, come on in, come on in. Come on in. Let me know where you're checking in from. Let me know where you're checking in from. As always, hit that like button as you enter the room. Hope everyone is doing good this Sunday evening. Hope everyone is doing well. Hope everyone is well. Hope everyone is having a blessed, prosperous day. Another day above ground is a blessing. So I hope everyone is doing good. Let me know where you're checking in from. Let me know where you are checking in from. I got AZ in the building. I got Queens in the building. Pensacola in the building. What else? Charlotte. My man Axel is in the building. We're gonna call him we're gonna call Mr. Axel the go-to guy for Expedite. Mr. Axel is the go-to guy for Expedite. We got VA in the building, Tennessee in the building. What else? Orlando in the building. What else we got? Hit that like button, guys. Come on in. Come on in. It's the holiday season. Florida in the building, holiday season. Hope everyone is doing well. Hope everyone is blessed. Hope everyone is healthy. No problem, Axel. That's the latter part of my live. I was actually hoping that you were going to be here. I was going to invite you up because I did include that lane into this presentation, but I wasn't going to expound on it. I just wanted to offer that as an option for people, but I wasn't going to expound on it. I was just going to offer it as an option for cargo van. I've never done Expedite. So, all right. So tonight I'm going to be talking about cargo vans, how to start a cargo van business. Now, this is something that, unbeknownst to me, I didn't realize I never did a how to start a cargo van business. I've done scale videos to scale, like more in-depth lives as far as more advanced lives on cargo van businesses as far as like scaling and growing and things of that nature. But I never did a how to start, like general basic information. And a lot of my live streams, I kind of base them off, like I pay attention to trends. Like I'll get a bunch of DMs one week regarding a certain topic, and then the next week I'll get a bunch of DMs regarding another topic. And cargo vans is something that I've seen an uptick in the past couple months. Obviously, we know why. I've talked about it before, but now the issue that I'm seeing is some people are winning with it. I get a lot of great testimonials every day. As far as the cargo van, I get a lot of great testimonials about certain apps. I coach a lot of people in my DMs on, what to do in their market, things of that nature. But I do see some people that are struggling with it because they didn't do the proper due diligence. I've had some people reach out to me, said they bought somebody's course, for a couple $100 and they didn't get any value from it. And now they're stuck in a market where they thought that there was opportunity and there's no opportunity. So I'm going to talk about it tonight. I'm going to break it down. As always, I'm going to give you the information for the free ski, the free 99. All right. We're going to do a basic crash course. I'm not going to go, I'm going to give you all the fundamentals that you need to get started. There's many ways that you can get started now. There's plenty of opportunity now. Some require licensing, some don't require licensing. There's a lot of people making an upwards of $500, $600, $700 a day in some markets. Not all markets, just running their cargo vans, doing gig apps. Once again, not all markets. All right. It depends on market, but that goes into research. So even if you decide to go out, and I'm not knocking nobody, I always tell you guys to do your own due diligence, do your own research, So before you go out and spend money on a course or things of that nature, do research on your market, see what your market has to offer. You may live in an area where you may live in a dead area. All right, and the nearest logistics warehouse may be 30 miles, well, not 30, let's say 75, 80 miles away. You may not live near any major cities. So you got to do your due diligence, and you got to know these things before you go out and spend $397 or $497 or $600 on how to get into the cargo van industry course. And then, you hit me up in the DM saying, man, Mark, I can't find nothing, this, that, and the third. But we're gonna give you all the basics tonight. And then on top of that, I'm going to give you a bunch of companies. That's the main thing that a lot of people come to me about. Like, Mark, can you give me some companies? Can you give me some companies that I can go apply with? Can you give me some apps? Can you give me something? So whatever these people are selling, they're not even giving you places to go and apply with. So I'm not going to talk about more advanced things like running partials with your cargo van. I think that's a little bit advanced. A lot of the people who come to me want the more introductory form of running their cargo van. So we're going to talk about parcel, like final mile parcel, gigs. I'm not going to talk about Expedite, but I do have it up there because that's an option. So we're going to stick to that because I think that's what most of the people that come to me want to know. A lot of people don't want to go over the road. But if you do want to go over the road in your cargo van, that is a lane, not something I'm going to talk about because I've never ran cargo vans over the lane. You might want to go check out Kirky Fresh and he can help you out with the partials. Obviously, you're going to be limited running partials with a cargo van due to space, and you're going to have to do a lot of, when you're on those load boards, you're going to have to ask those brokers, are they willing to accept the cargo van? So you got to read the notes too, because sometimes in the notes, it'll say no cargo vans. You know what I'm saying? It'll say no cargo vans. So you're going to be a little limited, but partials, that's his thing, but you can do it. It's an option. It's just not something I'm going to talk about or focus on tonight because a lot of the people that approach me aren't interested in that or running over the road. They want local options. So, all right, guys, come on in, hit that like button, We're just going to drop this easy sauce. I'm going to give you guys the easiest way to get in. Like I said, some of these ways does require, you to get licensing. Some of the ways don't. We're going to also talk about this misconception of do you need a DOT? The van is under 10,000 pounds and all the misinformation that, I see out there. People come to me with the confusion about that. I'm going to show you a tool. That you can use to figure it out for yourself. All right. Certain states have certain laws. Certain states have their own authority that you may have to apply for. I talk about that all the time as well. My state, is regulated, has their own regulatory department called the ICC, or the Illinois Commerce Commission. I know Texas has their own. Some other states have their own. So you may need to apply for both, depending. In certain situations, you may only have to apply for your state regulatory compliance as far as the transportation authority. Some you may have to apply for both. But I'm going to give you the tool provided by the FMCSA for you to figure out what you have to do. All right. All right, so without further ado, come on in, guys. Get comfortable. I'm going to try to make this as quick as possible, and as seamless as possible, and not make it too complicated. All right, let me get rid of that here. Let's pull this up. All right, so how to start a cargo van business. We're going to jump right on into it. All right. So the first thing you guys need to do is start or create a business plan. You want to create a business plan. All right. This is the issue that a lot of people aren't doing. And this is why they kind of get caught in the trick bag. They get caught in the trick bag because they saw some guy, on the internet, and there's nothing wrong with them. I'm not knocking anybody and selling a course. You can't knock the hustle. But you always got to do your due diligence. So you see a course and you go buy it. You didn't do your due diligence, all right? And then you feel like you got duped. You feel like you didn't get any value from whatever you spent. All right. So the way to, not get into that situation is by doing your own due diligence. A lot of the information that you're seeking is out there. And then once you do your own due diligence, then you can come to me and say, you know what, Mark, I've been doing my due diligence. I'm kind of hung up on this. Can you explain what that means? And then I'll explain to you what it means. You know what I'm saying? It didn't cost you $500. It cost you nothing. All right. So create a business plan. All right. Create a business plan, map out what you want to do. Is this something that you just want to do solely as an owner operator? Is this something that you plan on scaling? This decision would determine which route you may want to go. Do you want to do dedicated local final mile parcel deliveries? You want to do expedited? Do you want to do over the road? Whatever, you know what I'm saying? You got to figure out what you want to do. And then also you need to figure out what type of van you want to buy. Depending on what you want to do, you would help you determine what type of van to buy. You may not need a high roof. You may not need an extended lift. You may not need a big van. You may just need a Transit Connect, something smaller. So when you create your business plan, you're sitting down, you're figuring out which direction you want to go in, so you don't make mistakes and waste money and get caught in the infamous trick bag. Identify your target market. What do you want to do? All right. Where do you live? Have you done research on where you live? Are you in a dense area? And are you in a highly populated area? Are you out in the rural middle of nowhere? I've talked to people that are in the middle of nowhere and they're having a hard time sourcing opportunities. All right. And this is what you need to figure out before you go invest money in a van, in insurance, in courses and all that stuff. You need to figure out where you're at, where you live at. Are there opportunities? All right. A lot of people make this mistake. They go get everything, pay for everything, and then realize they're in Timbuktu, Montana or North Dakota in the middle of nowhere, and there's nothing nowhere near around for you to run. Then you say, okay, Mark, what's some of those gig apps you're talking about? And then I give you some gig apps, and then there's no opportunity there either, because it's one Walmart in town and there's 10 guys all fighting for that one Walmart. It's not like a larger city where, you got a Walmart every 10 miles and there's volume of stuff just coming out. All right. So identify your target market, figure out where you live, what opportunities are available, and what you're willing and looking to do. Identify your competitors. All right. So after you identify that, identify your competitors. Okay, boom. I'm in a small market. There's no logistics companies within 75 miles. The only thing I can run, Mark told me about Roadie, and Mark told me about Amazon Flex or Spark. All right, so I download this Roadie app and I see, okay, there's one Home Depot in town and there's one Walmart in town. All right, so let me see. Let me wait for some. Okay, boom. There goes a load. I hit refresh and it's gone that quick. Because there's not that much volume, the supply may be high. Even if it's 10 guys in town all fighting for that one Walmart, they're all waiting for whoever to place one order for some baby wipes and some deodorant, and all the 10 guys in town that are servicing this one Walmart are steady hitting refresh just like you are, because there's no volume. So you got 10 guys waiting on one person to place an order for some baby wipes and some deodorant. So now you have competition. It's not like you may not be in a big market like here, let's say New York or LA, where there's stuff steady coming on the app. Stuff steady coming on the app. You know what I'm saying? Same thing if there's an Amazon in your facility, you want to see how quick those opportunities are going off that Flex app. So you want to know what your competition is. If you're running, let's say, dedicated parcel. All right, say you do have a logistics company in your town. You kind of want to know what the competition is there, because you're fighting out for the better route. All right, that's a route thing. When you get into the logistics company, right, they're going to always start you with the crappy route because you're the new guy. The people that are there with tenure have already worked their way up to grab the best routes. As soon as a guy who has a real good route decides to leave and go to another company, or he decides, he's going to sell his van and go do something else, and he has a really, really good route, the next person in line, or the guy who's cool with the operations manager, or however that logistics company is run, hey, I want Joe Blow's route. He's out of here. When he leaves, he told me that Friday's his last day. Can I get that route? Yeah, you can get the route. Yeah, we'll just give so-and-so your route. All right. So, you know, you got to look to see how much competition, what's in your area, what's running, how many contractors are running. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of these logistics companies, they pay you per piece. All right. So obviously the routes that have the more pieces, right, are the routes that you're going to want to take. So you got to know what the logistics company, what they're offering, and who the competition is, how much competition is there. Accounting. This is an issue we always talk about with the box truck. Knowing how to pay yourself, having a system set up so you can keep track of all your incoming, outgoing expenses, fixed costs, variable costs, everything. All right. And then if you also want to pay a CPA firm to handle that stuff for you as well, you can do that as well. All right. I've always done both, in-house and have a CPA firm handling that stuff because it's easier. It's always been easier for me at tax time. All right. So make sure you get your books down. All right. And then set your goals. Like I said, what are your goals? All right. Figure out what you want to do from the start. All right. If you want to start out doing, let's say parcel, right? But eventually, you know, you want to work your way up to running like Expedited or let's say over the road, then you understand that, you know what, if I know I'm going to start out with parcel, but eventually I want to go over the road, I'm going to need an extended length high roof because I'm going to need that extra length to put that extra pallet in there. I'm going to need the height as well, right? Because I got a forklift that's going to be loading it and other reasons, right? So I want the length, the height, and you might want to go 3,500 with the dual wheelbase for the extra weight capacity. All right. So, you know, that's something that you probably want to, instead of starting out, even though you're doing parcel, if you have the credit and if you can afford it, it just makes sense to get the bigger van from the jump, right? If you can afford it. All right. If you can afford it, get it from the jump and then just get it out the way. So that way, when you're ready to scale up from parcel to running over the road, dealing with these pallets and this higher weight capacity, boom. All it is, you know, you're just finding the opportunity and running it. You don't have to worry about going trading the van in, see what they're going to offer me. And, oh, man, we're in a recession right now, inflation. I should have bought the Ford Transit 3,500 a year ago. I should have just bit the bullet and bought it a year ago. Now it's $10,000 more over sticker than what it was. And I could have just bought it a year ago. So once you set your business plan, your business goals, you'll know how you want to scale, what you want to do in the future, and then that'll help you make decisions early on. All right, sourcing equipment. Another question that I get asked a lot, you know what I'm saying, about vans. So, you know, some questions just raise an eyebrow for me, but then I have to remember, like, you know what, Mark, there's a lot of people out here that they just don't know. And then someone else told me, you know what, Mark, that's why I watch your channel. I don't have time to research all this stuff. You know a lot of this stuff, so I just come and watch your channel. I listen to your channel when I'm doing other things. I have my AirPods in and I just listen. So, all right, so let's break down some equipment. All right, you got the infamous popular Mercedes-Benz Sprinter. All right, comes in three sizes: the 1500, the 2500, 3500. Obviously, the bigger size, all right, can carry more weight. The 3500 can come in a single wheelbase or a dual wheelbase. Obviously, the dual wheelbase, you can carry more weight. All right, the Ford Transit, which is comparable to the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter, the T150, T250, T350, same thing. Now, you can look these up on the manufacturer's website to get the full specs as far as the length, the height, right? The weight capacity. Even if you're interested in the towing capacity, let's say you want to run loads, but hey, in the summertime, you cut grass. So you want to buy a trailer and haul your zero turn and all your other lawn equipment, you know, or let's say in the wintertime, you got a few snow blowers and you want to, you know, push snow with your snow blowers and you got a trailer, you want to know the towing capacity. Or let's say you want to get into hauling cars and you want to get a 1 or 2 car trailer. Or let's say you want to get into the junk removal business as well later on. So, man, you know, you want to get a dump trailer. All right, so, you know, you need to know what you want to do down the line so you can pick the right van, because not all of these vans are going to have the spec to tow and haul certain weights. All right. So Ford Transit is comparable to the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter. Like I said, you can look at the specs. Now, the Ford Transit Connect is a smaller version of the Ford Transit. This is something that I recommend when people come to me and ask and say, hey, Mark, I'm just interested in doing gig work. What do you recommend? What do you suggest? If you just want to do gig work, then I suggest the Ford Transit Connect. You don't even have to go out and buy a brand new one. You could go buy a used one, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. If you want to go back, you can get one of those for under 20 grand. All right. It's big enough to do gig work. If you're doing Amazon Flex, if you're doing Amazon Flex, Roadie, Curry, if you're doing Instacart, whatever you're doing, all right, that's big enough vehicle for you to do those apps. All right. So if you're doing like Amazon Flex, like those parcel blocks where you're delivering the boxes, big enough vehicle. Same thing if you're doing Amazon Fresh or what's the other one, Whole Foods, big enough, right? Instacart, big enough. There's no need to go spend 20, 30, 40,000 on a Transit T250 or a Sprinter. You know what I'm saying? If you have no plans on scaling up, if just gigs your thing and I'm in a large market, I can make, I got a friend who's making 350, 400 just doing Amazon Flex, whether they're doing parcel or Amazon Fresh and they're making 350, 400, then LA, New York, Houston, Chicago, one of these large markets, then that's the vehicle for you. All right. But this is where research comes in. There's no sense, like I said, going to spend 30 grand on a Sprinter when you can just get a Ford Transit Connect for 12, 13, 14, 15 grand. All right. Ram ProMaster, similar to the Ford Transit, Mercedes-Benz Sprinter, not my vehicle of choice if I were in the market to purchase a van. They do make one in the high roof. I've driven them before. I don't really like the way they sit. But to each its own, but that's an option as well. Chevrolet Express, I actually bought a brand new Chevrolet Express 2500 in 2015. Good van, strong van. I would have preferred to get a Transit at that time. Transits were like a year or two old, but I got a great deal on a Express 2500. So that's what I went with. Strong vehicle. Chevys make really, really good vehicles. The downside to the Chevy Express is they don't have a high roof option. All right. They make the regular wheelbase, and they also make an extended wheelbase when you get up to the 25 and 3500, but they don't have a high roof option. So that's something that you want to keep in mind. All right. I'm going to remove myself down here for this one. All right. Also, so equipment. All right. Equipment. All right. So if you're doing, let's say you're doing final mile parcel van work, you're doing office supplies, right? The only thing you need is a mag liner. Mark, what is a mag liner? Mag liner is a dolly. It's like a 2-wheel dolly, but I should have put one into this presentation, but it's like a 2-wheel hand truck dolly, but it's a lot more expensive, right? You can go get a 2-wheel like steel hand truck dolly, like a good Milwaukee one from like Home Depot for like $100, probably going for about $100 now. But you're going to need a mag liner because you're going to be dealing with a lot of boxes. So that 2-wheel dolly is going to have to open up. Like when you see the UPS guys, they'll have it like standing up and then they'll fold it out and then it turns into like a push cart. Those things they start around $297, $300 and they go up. All right. That's what you're going to need if you're running parcel delivery like your Staples, your Office Depot. You can't do it. You can, but it's going to take you a long time, especially if you get to like a school, especially if you're in a big market. Big markets with Office Depot and Staples, they have schools. Those are their contracts. Schools, a lot of government buildings, courts, hospitals. So, some of these places are going to order a lot of paper. All right, so it's easier to get the mag liner because you can carry more on it. So invest the money in the mag liner, or you're going to be making trips back and forth to the van. Depending also what you're going to do, I would get some straps, all right, just to have a roll of shrink wrap just in case you have to rewrap a pallet for any reason. Some moving tape, all right. Always keep a nice tool set. Don't go to Walmart and get that cheap 27-piece, 30-piece tool set. Get a good tool set. build your tool set, get a good impact drill, a good driver drill, build a nice tool set to have on your truck just in case anything comes up where you're going to need a tool set, and a few blankets. You probably don't even need a dozen for a van, just a few just to have just in case. All right, let's talk about licensing and authority. Big question. Do you need a DOT? Now, this is probably the biggest misconception I see where a lot of people get hung up. A lot of people get into trouble with this right here. Now, if you have a van that's under 10,000 pounds, okay, I get it. But in some situations, in some cases, especially when you're dealing with these logistics companies, they're going to require you to have one. The FMCSA requires you to have one if you're moving commercial freight for hire. All right, interstate for hire. You're being paid to move freight. If you're being paid to move freight, yes, you need a DOT, especially if you're crossing state lines. Now, people want to argue and all this stuff. So this is what I do when people want to argue. This is what you do. I'm gonna share my screen. Give me a second here. I'm going to show you this tool you can use for your state. And then another thing is, certain states require DOTs. Certain states don't. Certain states have their own regulatory department for vans under 10,000 pounds. Some states, a lot of states still require you to have a DOT. All right, so we're going to look at the list. All right, give me a second here. I'm going to pull this up here, and I'm going to share my screen here. All right, so this is the tool. Let me before we do that, let me go back here. I want to show you something. This is the link right here. This is the link. I don't know if you see you don't see my cursor, but that link you see, www.fmcsa.dot.gov. This is the link for what I'm about to share. So if you need to come back and screenshot this, feel free. It'll be up for replay. All right. So I just wanted to make sure you guys knew where I was at on the when I share my screen. So let me do this. All right. So this is the FMCSA website, and here's a cool tool they have on that's going to let you know. Guys, hit that like button for me. I see 29 likes. It's about 40 some people in the room. I really appreciate if you hit the like. This is all free. It takes me a little time to do this, and just show you a little appreciation for me by hitting the like button. Makes me feel good. You know what I'm saying? Thank you very much. I appreciate it. All right, so this is a tool. I got the link in the presentation. I'll go back to it. Do I need a DOT number? This will answer all your questions. All right, you can answer all your questions if you just do a little searching, right? All right, so you hit the button, find out now. This is the FMCSA website now, guys. All right, are you a motor carrier transporting property or passengers in commerce? You're transporting property. All right, you're transporting property, so you're gonna hit yes. All right, now this is the big question: am I interstate or am I intrastate? All right, if you're interstate, you're crossing state lines forever where home base is. Wherever you're registered at, the moment you cross line, you become interstate. All right. Intrastate means you stay within the state. All right. So let's say you're interstate. All right. You're going to hit interstate. All right. So now, does one or more of the following apply? All right. You read these very carefully now. I am a for hire motor carrier. All right. You're for hire. If you're getting paid to move freight, you're for hire. All right. So let me explain what not for hire is. All right. Say I own I sell fish tanks. I build custom fish tanks. All right. Custom fish tanks. Doesn't require a box truck, just a van. So I build custom fish tanks. I have a custom fish tank building business. All right. I buy a van to deliver these fish tanks once I build them for my customers. Right. I don't need a DOT if I'm crossing state lines. Right. Because I'm not for hire. I sell a good and I provide this service for free. Once I build it, me and 3 guys, or 4 guys, depending on how big the tank is, we're going to put in our company van and we're going to drive it from Illinois up to Wisconsin for some Green Bay Packers football player who just who wants a custom built 1,000-gallon fish tank. We drive it up to Green Bay. All right. Don't need a DOT for that. All right. So if I'm an independent owner operating my cargo van and I am signing up for T-Force, right, to run Staples or Office Depot, I'm being paid to deliver this commercial freight. I'm for hire. I'm being paid. I'm for hire. I'm for hire. My van is for hire. All right. So that's what the difference is. I am a for hire motor carrier. So you're going to hit yes. People get caught up with B right here. I operate a vehicle with a gross vehicle weight of 10,000 pounds or more. So they read this, and well, my van is less than 10,000 pounds, but it says, does one or more of the following apply? I am a for hire motor carrier. You're going to hit yes. All right, you're going to hit yes. And then it's going to take you here to apply for your DOT. So that's your answer. All right, so now let's go back to intrastate. All right, this is on the FMCSA website, guys. This is in their words on their website. So sometimes you got to, go with the people who make the rules. You got to go with what they're saying because they make the rules. You know what I'm saying? So let's go back. Oh, let's go back a little more. Hold on. All right. So let's go back to intrastate. All right. Another issue I see a lot of people get hung up at. You're local. I'm running for a local carrier. Let's say I'm doing medical supply, or let's say I'm doing office supply, final mile delivery, Staples, whatever. Don't cross state lines. Local, 50-mile route, all within the city, rural, neighboring suburbs. Boom, I'm intrastate. Okay. Does one or more of the following apply? All right. Let's start with A. I carry one or more types of hazardous materials. All right. We're not carrying hazardous materials, so that doesn't apply to us. All right. B. My state of domicile requires me to obtain a U.S. DOT number apart from FMCSA's regulations. Some states require the interstate carrier registrant to obtain a U.S. DOT number. Mark, does my state? No problem. Go back to that video, that live stream I showed you. Is going to have a tool. Follow that link. Click the link here to see if your state is on the list. And here's the list. There's only a few states not on it. My state is one of them. We have the Illinois Commerce Commission. So in some situations here, you need a DOT and an IC. All right. But here, if your vehicle is under 10,000 pounds, our state doesn't require you to have a DOT because we have our own regulatory department, which is the Illinois Commerce Commission. So the Illinois Commerce Commission is going to cover all vehicles, commercial vehicles that are moving for hired freight. All right. And then if it's over 10,000 pounds, you're going to need the ICC and the DOT. All right. So in here, if it's under 10,000 pounds and you're moving commercial freight, the ICC holds precedence. Our state doesn't require it, a DOT, but they require the ICC. If it's over 10,000 pounds, then you need both. All right. Now, these are the states that require you have a DOT for your van. So you go here and you use this tool. All right. These guys ain't showing you this stuff, and they charge you all this money. It baffles me, man. It really baffles me. All right. So there's one or more of the following apply. That's how you get, to know if your state, my state of domicile. All right. So there's one of the more of the following apply. If your state is here, then obviously you're going to click yes. Boom. You got to get a DOT. All right. Obviously, if you hit no, then you do not need a US DOT number, but you may obtain one. All right. So they're telling you don't need one, but you can still get one off the muscle, off the strength. All right. It's completely up to you. All right. So I suggest, I just talked to a driver about that yesterday about the ICC, the Illinois Commerce Commission. Yeah. I would call them crooks, but it's my state. And, I've had my run-ins with the ICC a couple times in my years. So it is what it is. So let me get back to this presentation. Let me get back to that. Let me pull that back up. All right. So we just answered, do you need a DOT? I gave you the tool, which is this link down at the bottom, so you guys can go search it for yourself. You don't have to pay for that information, guys. Stop paying for information like that, all right, go to the link right here with the big arrow. You can always come back and rewatch this live. Does your state have its own interstate requirements? Some states do. All right. I can only tell you what my interstate requirements are. We have the Illinois Commerce Commission. All right. It's our own regulatory that regulates states. It regulates like the electric companies, the gas companies, a bunch of different things. All right. They have their own police. It's only 8 of them for the whole state. All right. But they have their own police, and they have an office in the state capital, Springfield, and they have an office right outside Chicago in Des Plaines. They do stings. All right. They target areas where there's a high volume of freight. So like a lot of you middle mile guys that are watching that come to Chicago to get freight out of Elk Grove, the ICC travels up and down like Thorndale Road, all up in there through Elk Grove Village, out in Carroll Stream, out by Wooddale. They're all up and through there looking. Don't got to be from here. They can get you if you're not from here. They might pull you over, want to wait a truck. They got the things where they can just wait a truck. You know what I'm saying? So they'll write you a nice big hefty fine. You know, I've had a few fines. They'll write you a fine. They'll write fines, a $300 fine for not having a cab card. You know, you forget to put the cab card in on the fine for just forgetting to put the cab card in is $300. So when they mail the cab card, if you forget to put the cab cards in each truck, they catch you, pull you over, do an inspection. Oh, well, where's your cab card? $300 fine. So, you know, be careful. So you got to figure out if your state has its own interstate requirements. I'm going to leave that, guys, up to you. All right. And then here's the link once again to, you know, figure out if your state is on that list or not. All right. All right. Let's get into insurance. All right. So for everybody that's been following me for quite some time now, you know how I feel about insurance. You know, I'm the one who's always promoted, you know, get a broker. I've got a lot of great testimonials. I appreciate everyone who sends me a nice testimonial about, you know, man, Mark, listen to you. I went out and got a broker. I'm saving over $1,000 a month. I'm saving $500. I appreciate all you guys taking the time out to let me know that. Same situation for the cargo van. All right. I suggest you get a broker. All right. These are companies that I deal with. All right. Or have done with in the past. All right. So don't deal with Progressive. All right. Try not to deal with Progressive. And your way around that is by hiring. And when I say hiring, you're not paying them, but hiring a commercial insurance broker. All right. The insurance broker is getting paid by the insurance company. All right. He's getting paid, but you're not paying him directly. He's getting paid a residual every time you pay your insurance. And the insurance company is obligated to kick him back. All right. The broker's job is to find you the best rate. All right. And then their job the following year is to find you the best rate again. All right. If you have a good broker, it's like I always say, if you have a good broker, all right, he's constantly, when you're about 60 days out for renewal, he's already shopping your business on the market, trying to find a better rate. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to find you a better rate. All right. I know some brokers are lazy. If they tell you, well, you got to go with Progressive, it's cap. It's cap. All right. You don't have to go with Progressive. There's plenty of commercial insurance companies out here. There's plenty of them. Progressive ain't the only game in town. They're not. All right. So don't let a broker tell you, well, you got to go with Progressive, because they just don't want to do the work. They don't want to do the work. And in order for a broker to really do the work, it takes time. It takes time. It's not something that can be done overnight. That's why your broker is shopping you 60 days out prior to renewal. Because then there's a process that you have to go through. He has to find the rates. He has to present the rates to you. You say yay or nay, then the paperwork starts. You know, they got to make the filings. You got to do the payments, switch everything over. Broker has to put the filings up. You know what I'm saying? That takes a little time. It's not something that can happen in a day or two. That's why a good broker is, when you're up for renewal, he's shopping you about 60 days out. All right. So find a commercial insurance broker. A trick, you know, I know a lot of people want new vans, right? If you can afford a new van. If you want cheaper insurance, buy a pre-used or pre-owned vehicle. Obviously, the older the vehicle, the cheaper the insurance. You don't have to get an old jalopy, but you probably save a couple $100 if you get a van a couple years old. You know what I'm saying? So insurance is a lot higher now. I know, you know what I'm saying? But, a lot of people are complaining about vans. Let's talk about the rental vans real quick too. You can enter into this space with a rental van. The rental truck companies are hip. They're hip. They've started, and they're currently increasing the rates on the vans because they know they don't have trucks. They know their trucks are scarce and they don't have any. It's a waiting list. So they've seen the same trend and influx of people turning interest into cargo vans, and they're taking advantage of that situation. So they're increasing the rates on the cargo vans. All right. So I haven't, looked into cargo van rates. I've had a few people, when they inquire with me and ask me questions, and I ask them, they're telling me $350 a week for a cargo van, 29 cents a mile. Listen, that's ludicrous. It's ridiculous. Those aren't even box truck rates. You know what I'm saying? To me, I know box truck rates are higher now, but cargo vans, I've always thought known cargo vans to be 10 cents a mile, 12 cents at the most, about $250 a week, $225, $250 a week. You know what I'm saying? So if you're paying upwards of $500 for a cargo van a week, and I'm talking about with these commercial places, I'm not talking about U-Haul. You know what I'm saying? U-Haul is a household place, but U-Haul may have a better daily rate than some of these commercial companies now. All right. I think U-Haul they have a special for vans and pickup trucks. If you do a long-term rental, the rates are actually lower. You just gonna have a big U-Haul sign on the side. But these commercial van companies, your Riders, your Enterprises, your Penske's, the rates that I'm hearing, that people are telling me is like ridiculous. So, be mindful of if you're thinking about renting, figure out what you want to do, see what, the earning potential is before you jump out the window, the same way a lot of these people did with box trucks and jump out the window with an expensive van. And then you get out here and you're not making money. All right. All right. So that's pretty much the sauce. Now we're going to get into companies. I'm going to break these companies down, let you know what they do. All right. All the other easier stuff, I'm going to leave that up to you. I'm not going to sit up here and tell you guys how to go form your LLC and all that stuff. That's due diligence that you guys need to do. Don't pay nobody for that. I gave you the information that was needed. That DOT stuff, right? Business plan and everything I've talked about prior to this is the information where people get hung up on. All right. It's simple. It's a lot easier starting a cargo van business than a box truck business. Now, here's one of the main things outside of the whole DOT fiasco that I just broke down. This is the next biggest problem that people have. And the reason why is because they didn't do their due diligence prior to investing in the business, prior to doing their due diligence. All right. They invested before they did their due diligence. So then they don't know where to go find work, or the people that they paid $400 or $500 to didn't give them company. So here's a list of companies. Let's break some of these down real quick. Waco and T-Force. All right. Waco has their main claim to fame is Staples. T-Force in some markets has Staples. Its claim to fame as far as van work is Office Depot. Now, T-Force has a lot of work for vans. All right. If you swing over to the right side of your screen, you see in the upper right hand corner, T-Force Medical Logistics. All right. They also do medical, all right, delivery. All right. I actually had a subscriber reach out to me about a week or two, and he said he's making $2,000 a week in his personal vehicle running medical supplies, I believe he said, for T-Force. All right. I don't remember what market he was in, but he thanked me in one of the comments. I forget which video, and if you guys go digging, maybe you'll find it. It was a week ago. I don't remember what video, but yeah. So T-Force has its own medical logistics. T-Force has other things that you can do in a van. You may not want to do them in a van. They have car stuff. They have a lot of retail accounts. Your Zara's, American Eagle, StockX. The list goes on. All right. But Office Depot is their claim to fame. I ran Office Depot and sometimes Staple, but my claim to fame with Dynamics. I call them Dynamics because I'm old school. This is before they switched to T-Force. Was Office Depot and IKEA. All right. So depending on your market depends on how much volume they have and how much you're going to make. Now, the way they pay for this account is per piece. Different markets pay different. All right. I know I got a guy down in Atlanta. He says they're paying $225 at that T-Force down in Atlanta for Office Depot. Different markets pay different things. So obviously, to maximize your earning potential with this count, you got to have pieces. You got to have pieces. So you need to see how much it costs for you to operate your truck. All right. You got to see how much it's going to cost you to operate your truck so you can determine how many pieces you're going to need to cover your costs and to make money. All right. So you got to figure that out. Waco, same way. But there's more to this cargo van thing than, I'm going to tell you how to supplement it. I'm going to tell you how to supplement. So Waco, T-Force, pretty much same thing. Office Depot, staple. T-Force, you can do Granger, some other stuff they got. Like I said, they got the medical. Select Express. Now, if you're more mechanically inclined, Select Express has a plethora of final mile accounts on the smaller furniture scale that you can deliver. And you can get an added bump in pay if you're mechanically inclined. You can do assembly. One of their bigger, larger accounts is Bye Bye Baby. All right, Bye Bye Baby. If you can assemble a baby crib, you can make you about 40, 50, 60. I think they said paying 70 something to stop in some markets now. You know what I'm saying? It can be a two guy job, but really one guy can do it. All right, we ran Bye Bye Baby for Select Express for years. You know what I'm saying? The way around it to making it a one guy, break the box down in the van or on the curb and take the pieces in one or two at a time. All right. So if this, usually the cribs come in one big box. Some of the ones, they come in two boxes. Once you remove all that cardboard and stuff, all four sides are usually in one box. Break the cardboard open on the curb, take two pieces in, lay them on the floor, take the other two pieces in, lay them on the floor, take the hardware in, the instructions, and you can really, if you're mechanically inclined, you can put a crib together by yourself. It may require a little bit of skill when you're putting that first end and that first side together, because what happens with those cribs is it's 3 holes on each side when you connect. So if this is the back of the crib or the side of the crib and you got to connect these sides here, there's 3 holes, 1, 2, 3. It's usually an Allen. All right. It's usually an Allen. So the hardest part is going to be holding this together and using that Allen, because you got to kind of squeeze your hand in there and turn it. You can't use your drill because the drill won't get in between there. All right. So you can do that with one guy. All right. They also have Container Store. That's a really big contract that you can do by yourself. They have Saks Fifth Avenue. That's just delivering clothes. West Elm, Costworld Market, Home Goods. These are things that you can do by yourself. You can do these by yourself. They also have some other accounts that may require 2 guys that pay a little bit higher on the scale. Peloton, things of that nature. If you want to go out with 2 guys, you know what I'm saying? They also have Dick's Sporting Goods. You know what I'm saying? Something else, a little bit more harder work, because in the springtime, the summertime, or if you're in a market where it's just summer all year long, like Arizona or Florida, they have a lot of basketball, in-ground basketball goal assemblies. All right. So they have a lot of opportunities with Select Express on a larger scale for final mile for van. Now, US Pack is a company where they just have opportunities from your personal car all the way up to the biggest truck you can think of. They're one of those companies, they just got their hands in everything. If you got your personal car, you want to do medical carrier, you go US Pack. They got cargo van work, they got box truck work, they got whatever. All right, so that's what US Pack is. Capstone is a company that shares the Staples contract in certain markets throughout the country. Now, Laser Ship and On Track, 2 separate companies that recently merged. Laser Ship is a company that, I guess I see mixed reviews. I don't have any history with Laser Ship. Company has mixed reviews. A lot of people I read don't like it because of the rates. Laser Ship, what I think Laser Ship is trying to get up there to that DHL, FedEx, UPS level. That's what they're competing to get to. All right. So they promote owner operators, they promote opportunity for scale. But the biggest thing that I hear about LaserShip is they don't pay well. All right. So that's something that if you're interested in, you probably want to inquire within. I can't really go into details like I can with some of these other companies that I talked about because I haven't dealt with LaserShip on track. I just know that they have expanded. They merge, LaserShip and On Track merge. And just from, my knowledge base of being in this industry, they're trying to get up there to that DHL, UPS, FedEx level. That's where they're heading. That's what they're targeting. RXO, like I talk about XPO all the time, they have opportunities for pretty much everything. But the biggest issue with RXO, XPO is getting with them the insurance. The insurance usually deters a lot of people, all right, because of the requirements. Their requirements for insurance are very high. I've dealt with XPO. Obviously, RSO is a sister company that just created a month ago. So, the opportunity is there. Not too much really to talk about. RXO, plenty of work. All right. Just if you can find a way to get around the insurance to the point where you want to pay it, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, if they ask you for a $3-4 million umbrella, if they ask you for workers' comp, you know what I'm saying? If that's something you feel like you want to do and you can still make money, then you won't be short of any work. All right. I talked about T-Force Medical Logistics. Spoke Logistics is a medical supply company, not like medical pharmaceuticals where a carrier for like specimen samples and things like that where you can do in your car. Spoke Logistics is a medical supply company. All right, so you're doing things. I spoke on them before. I actually did a video on them. This company you're doing, and they play pretty well. They play to $2,000 a week for your van. You're delivering things like oxygen tanks, wheelchairs, canes, walkers, things of that nature, medical supplies. All right. Even up to hospital beds. And I know when you inquire and you apply, they say hospital beds, but I'm going to tell you now, you're not going to move a hospital bed in a van. I've moved hospital beds in trucks. I told this story the other day. Young lady who was an operations manager at when we were at Dynamics. She left Dynamics to become the operations manager at a medical supply facility here. And she would always call me to have my company come out and move the hospital beds because they only have vans. They only have operators with vans. And whenever they need to move a hospital bed, one, it takes more than one person to do it. All right. And two, it can't fit in a van. You actually need a truck with a lift gate. You can lift it if you got two strong guys. Can lift it. You can't really come up. It can't really come up a ramp because it's wide, and then those hospital beds has that motor under it. All right, so you really need a lift gate. And she would always reach out, and then I go upside her head, to send a crew out to go move those hospital beds because it's an easy move, but those things are heavy and it requires a lift gate, and I charge for it. All right. So that's what Spoke Logistics is. Now, this company, Wiser, is a newer company. Not familiar with it, but they do have a lot of opportunities in multiple states. They're on the lower scale of pay, up to about $200 a day. So, for you guys out there that want to check them out, go ahead. Capital Express is more of an upper northern company. They don't operate throughout the country. So if you're in certain states, you go to their website, they're in certain states. But for people that are novice, that are just entering into the cargo van space, and you're looking for something dedicated that you can do during the day and maybe supplement with other things later on in the day and on the weekend, I would suggest T-Force and Waco because you can get paid per piece, especially if you're in a larger market like Chicago, Houston, LA, New York, maybe Atlanta. Well, you know what? Not Atlanta, because I got a guy down there who says they just don't have the piece count, or his route doesn't have the piece count. Piece count here is good. All right. I'm pretty sure it's great in New York. I'm pretty sure it's great in LA. All right. If you're in a large market, you have to think like this. Schools, public schools. All right. See, our public schools order from Office Depot. So all the public, Chicago public high schools, all Chicago public grammar schools. And when they order supplies, especially paper, they order it by the pallet. So that's 40 reams right there on the pallet. So do your math. All right. So whenever I did T-Force, I pretty much ran box trucks. All right. All right. So my peak at Dynamics, which is T-Force, running for Office Depot, at one given time for about a little over a year, I was running 9 vehicles a day. 6 of them were 16 footers. 3 of them were vans. And the issue was, and how I was able to capitalize, was that the guys that were running the vans could only fit so much in the van. So all the schools, the hospitals, the courts would order pallets of paper. All right. So I could send 16 footers and put more pallets on there and make more money. And they eventually ended up giving me all the schools. They had to anyway, because I leaned on them hard and got a guarantee. All right. So that's another thing when you're running cargo van. It may be a little bit harder to do nowadays than it was when I was running for this company, because obviously there's an employment crunch. It's hard to find workers now. So scaling is going to be an issue now. But, you know, if you see an opportunity to leverage yourself, then go ahead and leverage yourself. You got to learn your market, and you got to learn the logistics company that you're working for. If you see opportunity there, you know, take advantage of the opportunity. So I recommend Waco and T-Force for a lot of you novice. If you're mechanically inclined and you want to do some assembly, then go ahead with Select. And then US Pack, if you're in a car, they have everything. Like I said, from a car up to a 26-foot box truck. All right. Let's move on. All right. So next is Expedite. And Mr. Axel, he's the specialist in Expedite. I don't do Expedite, never done Expedite, but I wanted to add that to this live as an option for someone who is interested in getting into the cargo van industry. This is an option. Obviously, like I said earlier, you can do over-the-road partials. I'm not adding that, but Expedite is something that you can do. It's just urgent LTL cargo van loads. All right. You see a lot of those Expedite guys, they got the little twin size fold out mattress in the back of the van. They sleep in the back of the van because this stuff got to get from point A to point B urgent. These guys are driving long hours. They got to get to it. They got to get to it because it's urgent. All right. So some companies I threw up there. Obviously RXO I'm familiar with. Echo Express I'm familiar with. Argo Expedite is another company, and Expedite All is another company. Echo Express and RXO, obviously, I'm familiar with. The other two companies are companies that I just threw up there for you guys to, if you're interested in Expedite, you can look into. If Axel wants to come on a little later on and talk about Expedite for 15 or 20 minutes, he's welcome to come up. All right, so now the infamous gig apps. Another thing people ask me. All right, so... And then, you know what, if you want to come back to this live and screenshot these companies so you can do your, you know, research on them or apply to them, then feel free to screenshot or come back at a later time and check those companies out. Let's get back to the gig apps. All right. So gig apps. This is how you supplement what you don't get during the day. All right. There's plenty of opportunity. If you make $250, $300, let's say running Staples, or Office Depot, and it's 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon, man, you can still go running 2 or 3 blocks for Amazon Flex. The money is there. There's people that are doing Amazon Flex all day and checking $300 to $500, depending on the market, guys. Don't run off in the middle of South Dakota or something and think you're gonna check this type of money. You're not. All right. I'm just keeping it funky with you. All right. You know, some people are just in bigger markets. They're just in bigger markets. All right. So Amazon Flex is one of those. But before we get into that, if your sole purpose is to just run gig apps, all right, meaning you just want to get a van just to do gigs, then you don't need to get DOT or none of that stuff. Now, here's the flip coin on it. Here's the flip coin on it. It's always a flip coin. And Marky Mark is always going to keep it funky with you. All right. You don't need to get a DOT because you're just running gig. But if you are in a state like my state that has its own regulatory department, the ICC, the Illinois Commerce Commission, if they catch you using one of these gig apps and you explain to them it's a gig app, they're not going to care. They're going to still write you a ticket. The chances of them pulling up on you, catching you, are very slim to none, but sometimes it happens. All right. So for instance, Lug is like a moving app. So is Dolly. All right. If they're doing a target sweep of an area during busy moving season, right? Certain areas are just highly populated, busy, during moving season, end of the month, first of the month, where they know a lot of moving companies are going to be. And they see you loading your cargo van, right? They may pull up on you in an unmarked car, Dodge Charger, blacked out. Say, what are you doing? You're not going to know it, Barry. What does it look like I'm moving this person? Is that your stuff? No, it's not my stuff. I'm moving somebody. I'm moving a customer off an app. Then you're going to see them get out and have their all black uniform on. Let me see your ID. I'm with the Illinois Commerce Commission. What's your ICC number? You got an ICC number? Person who never had any intentions on being licensed is going to know what the hell he's talking about. You mean ICC number? Well, you're doing a household move. You need a license to do that. No, now I'm working off the gig app. Which gig app are you working off? Oh, I'm working off Thumbtack. Oh, we've sent them hundreds of fines already for having you guys out here. They just pay them. But it's still your responsibility to know what. And then if you look at a lot of these apps in fine print, they'll tell you it's your responsibility to abide by your state laws when it comes to licensing. All right. So I'm going to always be transparent with you guys. All right. Now, if I were getting a van to do gig apps, would I get licensed if my state had its own regulatory department? Hell no. Why? Because it's a slim chance in hell that they're going to catch me. All right. There's only 8 officers for the whole state. All right. So that's just one of those ones where you got to deal with. The apps don't require you to get it. In fine print, they tell you, yo, it's your responsibility to adhere to your state licensing. They don't care. They don't care. All right. You tell them, okay, I'm doing this small moving job, but it's off the app. You're trying to explain to them. They're going to write you a ticket. They're going to take your statement down and they're going to send them a ticket in the mail. Only thing they're going to do is they're just going to pay it. They're not tripping on it. They don't have any vehicles. They can't seize any of their vehicles. None of that stuff. All right. This may not be in your state, but if you have a state that has its own regulatory department, I'm just letting you know this is something that you may want to look out for. It probably 99, let's say 98% chance it won't happen, especially if you're not doing like moving. All right. That's what they really kind of look for. People moving and then moving freight. So let's say you pull something off roadie, right? And you're in one of these populated areas where there's a lot of freight, like say Elk Grove Village, where there's just a lot of logistics companies. You go in there and you're pulling something off the app because let's say it was scheduled for someone to pick it up like a real carrier, but they canceled. So they have an account set up with Roadie. So they just threw it on the Roadie app because it's urgent and they just need somebody with a cargo van to come get it. You come get it. It's an ICC officer sitting out there just watching everything because that's what they do. They just watch. You pull out, he sees a van, a commercial van. Let's say you got a Sprinter, doesn't have no authorization, but he saw you pull out of this big logistics company. He knows you pulled something out of there. Boom, they get behind you, they flash the lights. What are you doing? I just picked up a pallet from this place. What's your ICC number? Why your truck doesn't have your ICC number? My ICC number? What do you mean? Well, where'd you get this load from? Where's your BOL? My BOL? What do you mean? I got it off the Roadie app. Do me a favor. Step out the car. Step out the van. What app are you using? Roadie? Okay. Right to report. He's going to go in. He's going to come back with a ticket. $750. So, like I said, worry about that if your state has its own regulatory department. even still, 98% chance they're not going to, catch you, because normally these departments are very, very small. And like I said, if you're running commercial freight or like doing like moving jobs off the moving apps, that's what they're really looking for. All right, so like you're doing Amazon Flex, then you're straight. You're delivering groceries. All right, groceries and small parcels. But even still, Amazon does have something in fine print. All right, now you can supplement this, right, with doing your stuff during the day, like your staples for Waco or Capstone, or your Office Depot or Granger for T-Force, or your medical supplies for T-Force Medical or Spoke. All right, or other regional. There's plenty of, and there's another thing. There's plenty of regional and local medical supply logistics companies. All right, there's more regional and local ones than there are national ones. All right, so look in your area and see if you can find, if that's what you want to do. I had a young lady hit me up last week who wants to quit her job. That's why one of the reasons I did that live the other day about quitting your job, because a lot of people hit me up saying want to quit their job. And I coached her in keeping her job and doing this on the side. Certain things is not something for you to quit your job with. All right. So, there's plenty of opportunities on the local and regional level as well. Spark. Another thing, I hear good things about Spark. I hear it plays really, really well. I hear they pay better than Flex, but Flex has more volume. All right. So between Flex and Spark, you should be able to supplement your income if you get off 2-3 o'clock from doing like Waco or T-Force, and you should be able to work another 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, depending on how much you want to work, and still make another couple $100. All right, so there's plenty of opportunity on the final mile side in a cargo van. Roadie, I get a lot of testimonials about Roadie. Man, Mark, thanks for putting me up on Roadie. Thanks for putting me up. Around Cyber Monday, Black Friday, Roadie was on fire. All right, I put up some of those rates. Fanatics is still dishing out the money in my market. I'm pretty sure other markets too. They just have a ton of money and they don't care how they spend it. I always talk about new startup companies that are getting series funding. All right, they're getting millions and millions of dollars. Fanatics is valuated at $31 billion. They just got another series round funding of $700 million. They don't care if they give you $500 to make 29 stops delivering college team t-shirts. I showed it. $500 to do a 60, 70 mile route dropping off t-shirts. It's people in box trucks that got to run 2-3 hours to make that type of money. Now, I'm not saying it's going to last like this all the time. No, it's not. All right. But you have to take advantage of opportunities when they're present. All right. Let's talk about that. Let's parallel Roadie with Thumbtack for a second. But Roadie is a good app. Thumbtack, a lot of people are complaining about Thumbtack right now. Why? Because at one point, when I signed up for Thumbtack as a lead generating service for my moving company years ago, Thumbtack is like how Roadie is now, especially with Fanatics. All right. The leads were cheap. If there was an issue with a lead, you can contact support. They'll refund you for that lead. You know what I'm saying? They didn't care. Why? Because they were in the building process. New companies, startup, they're getting series rounds funded. Venture capitalists are steady pouring money into the app. So they're spending it. Why are they spending it? Because they need to get people accustomed to using it, the consumer, right? And they need to get service providers on the app. They have to have enough service providers to meet the demands of the consumers, right? So they're promoting the two different, target demographics at the same time. They're building it up from a consumer base, but they also have to build it up on the pro side, right? For the service provider. So they have to, satisfy the service providers, and they have to they have to build up for the consumer, and they also have to build up for the service provider, but they have to treat the service providers exceptionally well to keep them on the network to satisfy the demands of the consumer. So they kiss butt to the service providers. But guess what? Now the tides are turned. Why? Usually when companies get tight, I taught this before, when they start getting tight with the money and they stop giving refunds and they become sticklers, what does that mean, guys? I taught it before. It means they're getting ready to IPO. They're getting ready to IPO. They're about to go public. Why? Why do companies do that? Because when they're ready to IPO and go public, they have to do what? Show profit. Show profit. They can't operate at a loss anymore. Look how many years Uber operated at a loss. They were spending millions and billions of dollars operating in the red. They didn't care because those venture capitalists were steady pumping money into it. Why? Because they wanted to build it up. They wanted to get the consumer accustomed to using that service. So what were they doing? Giving free rides, giving cheap rides, introducing pool. Oh, well, you can share a ride with this person. It's only going to cost you $1.50. Oh, no problem. Here, no problem. We'll refund you that. Here's 10 free rides for the week. We just appreciate you for using Uber. And then what were they doing for the service provider? They were paying them $1 a mile. I remember early on, people were doing Uber bragging about how they were making $4,000 and $5,000 a week. All those promotions that they used to run, all the advertisements money they spent on advertising, getting people to sign up to drive, getting consumers accustomed to using the app, killed the whole taxi cab industry. For years, operated at a loss, no problem. VCs kept funneling money into it. The moment they got ready to go public, boom, it was a big deal. I remember it. It was on the news. Uber drivers upset. Uber dropped a pay down on them from like $1 something a mile to like 80 something cent a mile. Boom. Still didn't see profit. Dropped it on them again to like 60 some cent. Okay, boom. We're profitable now. All right, let's IPO. Used the service provider for years. Paid them, got them accustomed to making all this money a mile. These people done quit their jobs because they was making so much money on this app. Uber became their life. Soon they were ready to go public, they dropped the rate. But now they're accustomed to doing it. You had all these cab drivers that the cab industry, they killed them. So a lot of cab drivers converted over. All they know is just driving, being a service driver for people. So what could they do? Complain and still do it. So that's what's going on with Thumbtack. A lot of people ask me that because I did a few Thumbtack videos. So Thumbtack is in the process of IPOing. So that's why they're getting tight, raising the rates a little bit on the leads, not giving refunds on certain things, just being sticklers. They're getting ready to IPO. Thumbtack has been around a long time and a multi-billion-dollar company not to be public yet. So that's what's going on with them. But if you want to sign up for Thumbtack, watch that video I did on Thumbtack last. And if you sign up in certain categories, you'll get $200 in free leads using my code. So, all right. GoShare. GoShare has some good accounts. I hear good things about GoShare. I haven't been able to use that platform because they won't let me on because they have a requirement of trucks. My trucks are older than the requirement minimum that they require or whatever. All right, so I can't really tell you about the inside, but I've heard some good things. They got some pretty good contracts. They got Costco, they got Tesla, Pepsi. You can operate your car, pickup truck, cargo van, box truck, and they also have some dedicated contracts as well. Angie Leads, similar to Thumbtack. Angie Leads purchased Home Advisor, so Home Advisor is no more. It's not Angie's List anymore. They merged with Home Advisor, bought them, so now it's Angie Leads. Never been a big fan of them. When they were around back in the day, I started and used Craigslist back in the day because it was free. So I've never used Angie Leads. TaskRabbit, it's good, but you got to build your reputation up in order for you to really start getting opportunities on there. Mothership is for box trucks. I shouldn't have put that in here. Curie, I've been getting a lot of testimonials since I talked about Curie. A lot of people are winning with Curie. Another one is Freight. I had a subscriber reach out to me the other day, said he's making a killing with Freight, which is that one you see on the right hand of the screen above Instacart. Instacart has that big and bulky. A lot of people are doing good with the groceries on Instacart. Instacart is something if you're looking to get into the cargo van business and you just want to run gigs, you can just get that Ford Transit Connect. That's all you need. You don't need anything bigger. If you plan on running Amazon Flex and making that a daily job, or Instacart, Ford Transit Connect will suffice. Dolly and Lug are your moving apps. All right. There's a few other moving apps, but I didn't want to really touch on those right now. Dolly and Lug are your moving apps. Those are the apps that you want to sign up with when you move. All right. Hey, Axel, I just see your comment. I'm gonna drop this link now for you to come up. Let me turn interview on. I'm gonna bring Axel up, and he's gonna talk about expediting. Give me a second, guys. Let me pull this up here. Let me drop this link for Axel. All right, I just dropped the link. So I'm inviting Axel up. He is the Expedite guy on YouTube. Has a lot of good information on Expedite. And I'm inviting him up. Guys, hit that like button, guys. Hit that like button. I appreciate it if you hit that like button. It really helps me out. It's free, guys. Doesn't cost you anything. I appreciate it if you hit the like button. It's free. Didn't cost you $497, $397, $297. I don't know, you know. I know I've seen some people out here charging that type of stuff. So, you know. But I just dropped the link for Axel so he can come on up to talk to you guys about Expedite. He has a lot of great information. He is the YouTube Expedite guy. All right, let me pull you up here. Let's see how I add you. Well, I gotta add myself now. Okay, give me add myself left. There we go. Can you hear me? I can't hear you. Can you hear me? Hey, Axel, can you hear me? I can't hear you. Hold on. Can you guys hear me? Or could you not hear Axel? He's got the link. He's going to come back up. I think I'm on. You know what? Maybe. Let's see if he comes back up. All right, hold on. Let me add him to the right. Yo, can you hear me? We see you, Axel, but we can't hear you. You got to turn your volume on. Okay. Come on in, guys. Hit that like button. Axel is going to drop the Expedite information, the Expedite sauce on you guys. He's just getting it together. Give him some time. Volume's up. Interview's up.
Hello.
There you go. You're on Ecamm. You're on Ecamm, right? I hear you.
I do have Ecamm.
Yeah, Ecamm is a little.
You have Ecamm?
I got Ecamm.
Maybe I should turn the Ecamm off. I didn't have it on last time. Or did you use Ecamm last time?
I've been using Ecamm for about a week now. I got off of you know, StreamYard is cool, like for beginners, but you know, I got this big old Mac, so man, I'm gonna put it to work.
How about now?
Yeah, I hear you. Good.
Now you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. I don't see myself on screen. I just see myself down in the bottom.
I see you on screen. I see you on the screen. Are you on Ecamm or no? You're not on Ecamm, right?
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
Maybe I need to refresh it though. Yeah, it's got a delay though.
So you hear a delay from me to you?
Hold on. 1 second, 1 second. Yeah, there's a delay on my side for some reason.
Delay on your side. Hold on 1 second here.
You know there was an Ecamm update.
Yeah, I updated yesterday. But I'm trying to figure out if the delay is on. I'm running on low latency though. I'm running on low latency, so there's no, shouldn't be any delay. They can hear you, they said, but you just having a delay from when you see me talking to when you actually hear me.
All right, let me ask you another question. Do you have the echo cancellation on?
I have it on. You want me to turn it off?
No, it needs to be on.
Yeah, it's on. Oh, let me see.
Let me see. See, there's a delay. I'm moving, but it's not.
Let me ask you this: what are you streaming in?
You invited me, so I just went normal. I have a Mac Mini. Also.
I know you got a Mac if you're running Ecamm. So you're on low latency, and then you need to. Are you in 1080p? Or are you in 4K or 2K? Because if you're in 4K,
I just now turned my Ecamm on. I didn't have it on.
Okay. Well, why don't you just talk and just, if you don't mind, just, explain what Expedite is. Just real quick, 10 minutes so they can understand the difference between like Expedite and like, let's say running partials, and Expedite, like what I talked about as far as like final mile, local parcel delivery. Just a basic breakdown of what Expedite is for a cargo van.
Yeah, hold on, but it's stalling. I'll have a hard time talking because it's repeating it back to me. Let me change something out. Hey, drop me out and send me the link again. I'm gonna reset my system. Maybe that's it. Because even in my Ecamm, I'm moving fine. It's just not moving on yours the right way.
All right. All right, we're gonna try one more time, and then whatever he did, I heard an echo, so I don't know, but you guys hear me fine, right? You guys hear me fine? Crystal clear. You see me clear? Let me know. Shout out to all my Mentor gang members in the building, all my MGMs. I sponsored a bunch of members. So YouTube still makes me pay for them. So I pay YouTube, and then YouTube's algorithm is going to award people memberships for the month based off your engagement, based off how much you comment, based off how much you engage in the chat, based off your view duration and all that stuff. So I know it sent out a few I saw earlier in the chat. They awarded some people, but I still have more that I paid for. So if you get that free 1 month membership, that's just thank you from me for you being an active, highly engaged subscriber. So shout out to all my Mentor Gang members in the building. Shout out to my moderator, Miss Pippi Shortstocking. Shout out to all my subs. Shout out to everyone that's here. We're going to wait on Axel to come in. If we can't get it together this week, then maybe I'll invite him on the show. It won't be this year, it'll probably be next year because, obviously I talk about cargo vans and gigs on Sundays. Let me send them the link again. It should be the same link, but I'll drop it again. And then if I do, okay, you sound clear. All right, so I do cargo vans and gig stuff on Sundays. So I think next Sunday is Christmas, and then I believe the Sunday after that is New Year's. So obviously next Sunday I'm going to be with my family. Appreciate you, bro, in the shot. Hey, James, I appreciate you for checking in. Chicago love, man. I appreciate you, man. Be safe out here. Appreciate all you guys for tuning in. Hope everyone is well. Hope everyone is blessed. I hope everyone is having a productive Sunday. Next Sunday is Christmas, so I'll be with my family as I am sure all you guys will be with your family. I think the following Sunday New Year's Day or New Year's Eve. I think it's New Year's Day, the New Year's Day, the following Sunday. Now, New Year's Day, I may stream that Sunday night. I may stream Sunday night. If Sunday night is New Year's Day and not New Year's Eve, I'll probably do a show New Year's Day. Because all y'all going to be hungover and y'all probably just be waking up about that time. So I'll probably come on the following Sunday. If not, then I'll come on the second Sunday in January. All right, so I dropped that link for him again. I appreciate it. We'll see if he comes in. Hit that like button for me, guys. Hit that like button. If we can't get him in tonight, then we'll bring him up in a week or two from now. And I'll just do that on another platform to make sure. All right, Axel, he said 1 sec. So while he's getting that together, I'll take some Q&A. As always. I hope you guys like the presentation. I hope I touched at least one person out there and they were able to get some type of value from that. I hope I, dispelled that whole, do you need a DOT 10,000 pound, whatever myth or whatever that's going on. That information is out there. I showed you the tool. You can always rewind this, go back to get that link. I'll actually, what I'll do is I'll put that link in the description of this live after the live is complete. But yeah, I hope I reached at least one person. But you know what? Hold on. There was more. I think I had more in that. Give me 1 second. I think I had one more slide in that presentation that I didn't touch on. Give me 1 second here. Or did I? No, that was it. All right. Yeah. So these are the gig apps. Instacart, Freight, Lug. Yeah. So boom. So let me get out of here. All right. Come on, pop a bottle with the gang. Hey man, when New Year's Eve, I don't kick it on New Year's Eve. If that's what you're talking about. New Year's Eve, I usually stay in. I haven't been out on New Year's Eve in years. It's just better, safe to just stay in the house. It's New Year's Eve just ain't safe. Even though if you're the good person that's trying to get home safe, it's always someone out there that's super drunk and end up taking the life of an innocent person. So I just do the safe thing and stay in on New Year's Eve, and that's when you're talking about popping a bottle. So I'll be in the house by 11:50. I'm down on my knees praying. I usually bring in New Year's on my knees praying for a healthy and safe New Year, and usually, and that's if I'm woke, But if I'm woke, I'm on my knees praying in the New Year, and then I'm in the bed. So ain't no bottle popping for me. I ain't been out on New Year's Eve in probably over 10 years, man. It's just not safe. But man, maybe another time, man. You never know what 2023 may hold in store. It may do an event or something, and I can, shake hands with a lot of y'all. Stick With Us Delivery is the biggest scammer. Talk to you nicely till, what is Stick With Us Delivery? Is that a logistics company? Till he steal and charge you money for course and then buy. All right, here's Axel. Let me see. Right. What's going on? Can you hear me now? Is it better?
I can hear you.
All right, we got it. Good. Mr. Axel. So my question, because you've first of all, I want to thank you for coming up. You came into my live. I think it was the live where I was talking about the box truck hype, and I've been seeing you on my channel. I saw you on Kirk's channel earlier, and last week you came on, and you just have an extensive amount of knowledge about the Expedite niche as far as cargo van. And I was wondering first question, if I could ask you, can you tell us exactly what cargo van Expedite is? Uh-oh. I thought he said he could hear me.
Yeah, it's still got a delay.
Oh, wow.
It's something from the Ecamm to Ecamm, because last time we used StreamYard, it was fine.
All right. Well, right. So yeah, it's probably a delay. So why don't we, if you don't mind, I can ask you the questions. You can wait for a little 5-10 second delay and answer them. If not, maybe we can do something in maybe 2 weeks or so. They said they can hear you good.
Yeah, when you talk though, it's saying it 2 times.
All right, I'm gonna turn off the echo cancellation.
Next week, but after you're done with the show tonight, just email me or call me and we'll figure it out.
You got your email up on your channel?
Yeah, it's on there.
All right, so I'll email you and then we'll schedule something for a couple weeks out. All right?
All right, sounds good, Mark. Sorry.
All right, no problem. All right, so we couldn't get that tonight, guys. I apologize. It could be him, it could be me, it could be us. I don't know. I upgraded to more powerful software that's not web-based. Obviously, he's not web-based, so we're broadcasting, strictly off of our Ethernet. So I pay a lot of money for the internet, and I got a powerful computer. So maybe that's an issue. But what we're going to do is we're probably going to reschedule it. We'll probably do something maybe in 2 weeks. And then what I'll do is I'll go back over to StreamYard, and then we can talk over there. But right now, let me get back to this Q&A. Stick With Us Delivery. What is that? Is that a company? Stick With Us Delivery is talk to you nicely. Oh, that must be I don't know a lot of these content creators in the cargo van space, but I don't know. Tell us about good companies that we can start tomorrow making money. You're in Chicago, right? You're in Chicago, so why don't you go see? Then I can give you a company that's local that I can't give to everyone else. Why don't you go look at Veterans Distribution in Hillside? They got a lot of work. They got a lot of cargo van work. I know you said you were with T-Force Dynamics, so why don't you go look at Veterans Distribution in Hillside, and also look at Don't Shoot the Messenger, the delivery authority out in Naperville. Don't Shoot the Messenger, the delivery authority, or Veterans Distribution out in Hillside. We all know how to open a business, buy a cargo van, but you need to tell us the good paying customer. I just told you some in this market. Yeah, he was good at the beginning. I don't know what happened. Probably. Hit that like button, guys. Drop those questions. I'm going to answer them to the best of my ability. Hit that like button. Shout out to Pippi. Real good information trying to start cargo van business. All right, so if you're trying to start, I don't know when you came in, just go back to the beginning of this live stream, and I give you the fundamentals for starting to actually picking a niche or a lane that you want to go in, as far as if you want to do final mile parcel, if you want to do gig, expedite. You can also do OTR, running parcels off the load board. I think that's a little bit of advanced lane. So if you want to do that, you probably want to go check out Kirk on his channel. Obviously, with a van, you have less capacity to haul. So, and then you have to, when you talk to these brokers, you got to let them know that you're in a van, because you got to read those notes, because a lot of them, if you go on a load board for those partials, a lot of people don't read those notes. You got to read those notes, because a lot of time they'll say no vans. All right. So great info. Appreciate it, Alexis. Thank you for checking in as always. All those people they charge for scam, fake sites, and charge for courses should be in jail. All right. So I know this is a topic that we've been talking about for the past few weeks, but I don't talk about it no more. Like I always say, everybody is responsible for doing their own due diligence. Can't knock the hustle. You got to do your due diligence. It's unfortunate that people are charging a lot of money. I do my best to counter it by coming on here 3 nights a week and doing these live presentations, putting them together, these keynotes, and speaking and answering as many questions as I can based off my experience and my knowledge base of being in this industry. It's an unfortunate thing, but in anything that there's an opportunity to make money, you're going to have what's called opportunists. So there's going to be opportunists that are very opportunistic. All right. So you have to do your due diligence. And, like I said the other day on the other live, there's information out there. You just have to dig for it. It may take a little bit of time. It may take some research, but if you take the time, you take do the research, you have a little bit of patience, a little bit of discipline, sitting at that computer doing the research, you'll find some content creators that are dedicated to providing quality, good information for free. You know what I'm saying? The only thing I ask you guys to do is just hit the like button for me. You know what I'm saying? Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. And then there's a lot of information out there you can find, like that whole thing that I, dispelled about the DOT. That's like information that's on the FMCSA website. You know what I'm saying? So, but now I gave you guys the tool for you to go look up your state. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I want to do. I want to make, things, give you the tools and give you the information so you can go out and do a lot of this stuff yourself. If I can be the vessel to kind of guide you in the right direction, then that's what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? The industry has been very good to me over the years. You know what I'm saying? I can't complain. I've had my ups, I've had my downs, I've had my highs, I've had my lows. You know what I'm saying? I've had the highest of the highs, I've had the lowest of the lows. I did right. You know what I'm saying? I did right by the industry, so the industry did right by me. So now is my time to give back. If I can, sit here a few hours out the week and talk to you guys and let you guys pick my brain to the best of your ability to get the information I have, put on a presentation and kind of break things down for you, then that's what I'll do. I don't have no problem doing it. You know what I'm saying? But, people are going to be opportunists out here in anything. In any lane where there's money to be made, you're going to have people that are going to be opportunists. So you just got to do your due diligence and kind of stay away from them. All right. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to all my Mentor Gang members in the building. I'm just going through this. Everything. Can't hear. I'm scrolling up. Carroll Stream North Avenue is notorious for ICC and DOT. Carroll Stream North Avenue. Yeah. So I've got hit by the ICC. I got hit in 2012. This is when I was in hustle mode, grind mode, before I became licensed and all that. I didn't even know what the ICC was. I started my moving company the same way most moving companies started, like 2 men in a truck, just grinding, side gig. The ICC popped me for the first time in 2012, and that was obviously running without a license when I was just doing what's considered side gig work, now hustling, building up my company to the point where I can go get licensed. They hit me in Schaumburg on a sting. I got licensed and everything in 2013. I got hit for 2 more times. I got hit for the cab cards. When they send the cab cards, when you renew them every year, those cab cards will come in the mail, and I'll just keep forgetting to put them in the truck. So, when they do their little, I got hit for a cab card one time, and then one time they caught one of my trucks coming out of a like a stone masonry, whatever. They make stone or something out in Elk Grove Village, and he was pulling out that stone company, picked up one big rock. Man, that rock was it was big. It was thousands of pounds, and that ICC officer was sitting out there. The driver pulled out, and he pulled him over. He weighed the truck. It was overweight. You got a ticket. You know what I'm saying? So those are my three company run-ins with the ICC. But yeah, they're notorious for being around Carroll Stream, Elk Grove Village, Wooddale, all up and down Thorndale Road. Des Plaines, obviously Des Plaines, because that's where their office is. Yeah, they're just notorious, man. So shout out to ICC. And the last ticket I got one on my desk. Officer, this is for a cab card. I can't even read it. He scribbled it or whatever. Yeah, so shout out to those guys. They're notorious also during peak moving season, the last week of April, first week of May. They're notorious for they'll be over there in Lincoln Park. They be scouring Lincoln Park. So that's when they go after movers. But yeah, you're right. Carroll Stream, North Avenue, yeah, they be looking. Trucking, jumping out boys. Yep, that's exactly what GoShare chalked me. What do you mean? What you mean they chalked you? They killed you. They didn't let you on that. They didn't let you on the platform. U-Haul charge 60 cents a mile low entry, but they get you at the mile game. I think U-Haul has a platform for the pickup trucks and the vans that if you do keep the van or pickup truck long term and you do so many miles, I think they give you 3,000 miles, and then anything over is 19 cents a mile. I got to check into that. I don't know if they're still running that program, but they were. I just talked to a driver yesterday about the ICC. Yeah, the ICC, the good old ICC. What up, Mark? I'm going to start in March. Remember me, Dre, low end or no end. Hey, Dre, low end or no end. Hey, Dre, every time you say low end or no end, I always ask you what building you from, and you never tell me. So do you just jump in the line to tell me low end or no end and get out of here? What? You from the low end? Which building you from? Stayaway, the Wells, the Ickies? Talk to me. Let me know where you from. Indianapolis in the building. Alexis. Shout out to Alexis. Massachusetts in the building. Let's see. Mentor Game member, Mr. It's the Walk. Shout out to all my Mentor Game members. You know, my Mentor Game members, you know, they always hit me in my DMs with questions. You know, if you're part of the Mentor Gang, you know, you can always just hit me in the DM. I talk to everybody that hits me in the DM, but you know, Mentor Game members, you can always hit me up. If you DM me, I'm going to respond. You know, Axel has lots of information on cargo van. Yes, he does. That's why I got to get him on the channel. All right, let me go back down. 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 All right. Yeah, so Z, go check out Veterans Distribution, like I said, in Hillside. They got a 1 million square foot facility, all local. This is the biggest independent owned logistics company in Chicago. Well, right outside of Chicago. They got plenty of work from Staples. They got liquor contracts, so you can deliver to liquor stores. They got cabinet making. They got nonstop delivery. So with nonstop, you're getting Wayfair, Home Depot, HD Supply, all those online furniture stores, whatever they can fit in your van. The cool thing about Veterans is they'll mix and match you to give you a full day's work. You know what I'm saying? They'll mix and match you. So if they got 2 or 3 cabinet deliveries, 2 or 3 liquor deliveries, 15 Staples deliveries, whatever you can fit in that van, then they'll max that van out. They got plenty of work. And then don't shoot the messenger. The delivery through. I've taken some work from them in the past. I really don't deal with them too much. Guy over there by the name of Andy. So you can check them out as well. Yes. Veterans, very familiar, very bad company. Basic. They don't respect drivers. Man, you know what? One thing about Veterans, I've most of these, I know the sentiment. I've always been the aggressor with a lot of logistics companies. All right, I've always been the aggressor, but I know what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? I know how they treat people. I know how a lot of these logistics companies are. You're just another vehicle to them, another number, and it's unfortunate. But sometimes you gotta use things as a vessel to get to the next level. And then that's how you got to look at it sometimes. It's unfortunate, but I definitely know what you're talking about. GoShare ain't trying to let you be great, man. There's plenty of other options out there. I told you what you need to do. Just have a bad experience or something specific. They talking about something. I don't know what they're talking about. All right, let's see. Do you remember to get the longest and the highest cargo van like a lot of people if I mostly plan to be local instead of, do you recommend to get the longest and the highest cargo van like a lot of people if I mostly plan to be local instead of OTR? So it depends on what you want to do. Like if you plan on doing like a lot of pallets, then yeah, you're going to need the longest and the highest roof. All right, because some of the pallets are going to be stacked high, and then you need that extra length to put that extra pallet on there to make that extra money. All right, now if you're not planning on doing freight, like palletized freight like that, you're planning on doing like local parcel final mile, like your office supply stuff, or let's say like your laser ship type stuff, or even like your gig based stuff, groceries, or Amazon Flex parcel box package delivery, then no, you don't need a Sprinter or a Transit extended length high roof. All right. Now, if like I said, if you plan on doing pallets, then yeah. You know what I'm saying? If you plan on later on starting a junk removal business and you need to pull a 7x14 or a 6x12 dump trailer that's 5,000 pounds, then you probably want to get a 3,500 with a double wheelbase. If you plan on going OTR, which you said you're not, then yeah. If you plan on doing Expedite, then yeah. All right. But if you're just running small parcel stuff, then no. You don't need it. You don't need it. Let me see what else. I'm in the ATL and T-Force is here. Needed that info, going to check with them once I get up and running. Man, I'm glad I was able to help you. Glad I was able to provide that information for you. This is really solid info, and I appreciate it. I've been looking forward to this stream all week. I want to buy my first van and get started ASAP. Man, I'm glad I was able to provide you with some information. I'm glad you were looking forward to the stream. I'm glad I was able to provide some type of value to you, man. I believe that getting a cargo van is a good move. With e-commerce, where it's at, booming where it's at, and the opportunities that e-commerce is providing for owner operators that are looking to enter on a smaller, more affordable scale with a van other than a cargo van. I think, sky's the limit. And then whenever, that freight slows down, let's say if you're with a logistics company, essentials are going to always, be steady. All right. So if you're in a market where there's you're in a larger market, you can always get that Walmart money. You can always get that Amazon money, that Instacart money. People are going to always order groceries. People are going to always order paper towels, toilet paper, deodorant, things of that nature. Even if you want to supplement, if things are going good for you with these other opportunities, you can always supplement. Your day doesn't have to end once your Staples route is done or once your Office Depot route is done. There's plenty of opportunities now with a van that, weren't available just 6 years ago or 5 years ago. So you can supplement up until midnight if you want to. You know what I'm saying? That's usually when the apps cut off. So sky's the limit, man. Sky's the limit. You can get out of it what you put into it. You can really suck a lot out of the cargo van. Whereas with the box truck, let's say 26-foot box truck, you're capped. After 11 hours of driving, 14 hours of working, that's it. There's nothing capping you with the cargo van, especially on these apps. And even I think Flex will allow you to work so many hours. But if you're bouncing from app to app, you're pulling stuff from Roadie, you're pulling stuff from Flex, you're pulling stuff from GoShare, you're pulling from here and there and here and there. You're all over the place. You can push it. You get into a jam and you know you need to work a little bit harder this week. You got plenty of opportunities to make that money, to bail yourself out of that jam. Whereas like with, box trucks, you're capped at the hours. And then like there's only so much you can do. With the van, like I said, you have opportunity all the way up until midnight. You don't have to wait on it. You can just literally go on your phone, pick an app, pick all of them, turn them on, and just pick. So I think you'll do quite well. Mr. Tim. Keep making more chats like this and help us to find real work, and keep bringing people guests. They can help us to get good customers work. Happy holidays. Happy holidays to you too, Z. Yeah, that's the plan. Just to keep providing value to you guys out there. That's what I'm gonna continue to do. You know what I'm saying? Keep providing value to you guys. I appreciate you guys for just sitting here listening to me. And in the flip side, I'm just gonna keep providing you good content. So hit the like button for me. Just tip me by hitting the like button. That's all I ask. Just hit the like button. That's all I need. God has blessed me. Hit the like button. That's all I need. That's it. And all right, you are a very good guy. You are a very good guy, and please stay like that. Thank you, and God bless you. Mr. Z from Chicago, God bless you too, man. I hope you have a safe and happy Christmas and holiday season. Have a safe New Year if I don't talk to you again, because I won't be on. I don't know if, a lot of you guys probably don't be on my Tuesday show, because my Sunday and Thursday shows are the biggest. Tuesday are usually like diehard box truck, like final mile people who want to, or people who are really interested into like future. Like when I talk about, the future of the industry, that's kind of what I talk about on Tuesday. And I guess that caters to like a smaller niche. The chat it's not as big as my Thursdays and my Sunday nights, but it's a pretty decent size. So that's what I talk about on Tuesday nights. And then on Thursday nights is usually, I try to find a topic like not this past Thursday, but the Thursday before last, I talked about the box truck hype being over with. This Thursday, I talked about should you quit your job to start a box truck or any business, cargo van business, whatever. So Thursday, I kind of keep it for like topics, like interesting topics centered around the space, to just open up, just have a place for, like-minded people in the space to engage, not just engage with me. I look sometimes in the chat and I see people engaging with each other. All right. So I just want to push engagement and create a space where, like I said, like-minded people in the space can come and talk with other like-minded people and bounce ideas and share things with people. And I believe, continuing to, build these chats and these live streams. You never know who's watching. You never know who you might bump into in the chat that may have information while I'm running my mouth during a presentation, that you can maybe get an answer that you're looking for. They may have knowledge on something that you're lacking knowledge in, and vice versa. So that's my whole goal, and I'm going to continue to do that in the 2023, and it's only going to get better. But I appreciate you, Z. Be safe out there. Are there any other aspects of trucking you've ever been interested in? Brokering, dispatching, factoring, etc. So the examples that you gave, brokering, no. Dispatching, no. Factoring, no. The only other thing that I'm kind of interested in now is semi-trucking. I'm kind of on the fence on if I want to get into it or not. I've been like on the ledge since 2017, like all the way on the ledge, and just haven't pulled the trigger. That's the only thing that I'm interested in getting into. And I think my fixation with wanting to do it is just really wanting to see what it's like to drive a rig. You know what I'm saying? Do I have plans if I were to do it on scaling? I did, but at this point, no. I'm looking more into automation. creating more businesses that are automated. I think my tenure, after I finally, just shut everything down with this trucking, everything else that I do going forward as far as investments is going to be businesses that are automated. I see what the future holds. You know what I'm saying? I understand not only the future, I see just how people look at actually employment nowadays, and I think automation going forward is probably going to be the way to go for me. But yeah, brokering, no. Dispatching, no. Factoring, no. For a plethora of reasons that I'm not going to want to get into now. I've never had interest in doing any of them. Don't have interest in doing any. Final mile and moving. Over the years, man, God bless me. This is something that I never wanted to do growing up. It's not something that I look forward to do. Like I said before, I was in a back against the wall situation. I did something and it spawned into a beautiful thing, and it provided me things in life and opportunities that I never thought I'd get. So, I'm truly blessed, and I don't have any aspirations to do brokering or dispatching or factoring, etc. Where did I leave off? I'm sorry. Let me see. Do you have anything to share with us? Let me see. Do you have any information on companies hiring contractors for medical supplies? Yeah, I gave a few. Hold on, I'll pull it back up for you. Give me 1 second here. Let me pull up these. I'm gonna give you two. Where is this? All right, so if you look in the upper right hand corner, you got T-Force Medical, all right, and then you got Spoke. All right, Spoke is a medical supply. All right, they do medical supplies. T-Force is more like specimen. US Pack, you probably want to look into them too as well. US Pack. You're gonna get a bulk of your medical pharmaceutical like specimen courier jobs. There's more local and regional companies in that aspect than you'll find national companies. Spoke is a national company. It plays on the higher side than actually like delivering, being like a specimen courier, because it requires a van and you're delivering, like I said, oxygen tanks and wheelchairs and canes and walkers and crutches, things of that nature. It's medical supplies. T-Force is like those pharmaceutical specimens, but like I said, if you do a typical Indeed search of your area, you'll see a lot more regional and local medical courier opportunities for obvious reasons. So you might want to look in your local area for that. But these are 2 or 3 actually, US Pack, T-Force, and Spoke, that you can look into. Let me see here. What is Axel's YouTube channel? Axel's YouTube channel is Axel Live. Hey Axel, if you're in here, drop your link to your YouTube channel for me. Let me see what else I got. Yes, veterans are very. Yes, veterans are very bad company. Nobody wants to work for them. Everybody has bad experience. Yeah, they've tried to recruit me. Well, they haven't tried to recruit me lately, but, in the mid 2000s, they used to try to recruit, but, like what you're saying is true. I'm gonna be honest with you. I wasn't going because I've always, in my heyday, I set the standard. You know what I'm saying? My leverage, I didn't really let people push me around. I know what you're talking about, but I always use me having a fleet as leverage and kind of muscling my way in with a lot of these companies and getting a guarantee. The reason why I never dealt with veterans is because they wouldn't give me a guarantee. And by me operating from a fleet standpoint and having to pay employees to do these routes, Veterans has always been an owner operator driven company. So if I were to send trucks to Veterans, there would have been no room for, there was no margin for the company to make money. So that's why I could never deal with them, because they never wanted to budge, even though they needed trucks and they needed bodies. They didn't want to budge. So it's an Indian guy that runs it over there. I forget his name, but I met with him a few times. They are cheap, but that's just an opportunity. Since you asked, since I know you're here local, that's not something I can just talk about. Well, I can, but it's not going to serve anyone else on the stream any value, because they're not here. That's a local company. But check out Don't Shoot the Messenger or Delivery Authority. Those might be better options than Veterans Distribution. But Veterans got to work, though. Do I need an authority to run a cargo van? It depends on what you're running. Alexis, if you're planning on running, well, one, it depends on where you are, what state you're in, and two, it depends on if you're running. Now, if you're running for hire, which I'm pretty sure you will be, then depending on the state, more than likely, yes. If you plan on just operating from a gig aspect, then no. So depending on your state, would determine, one, if you need a DOT, or you might need a local interstate authority, depending on your state. So I think you were here earlier. I talked about that. I went through that. But yeah, if you go back into the earlier part of the live, when I got to this part right here, let's see here. 1 second. Let me move this out the way. When I got to right here, if you go to this link right here, www.fmcsa.gov registration, it's a tool which I'll share in a second, and then you can just follow the prompt and it'll let you know if you leave a live. I guess I can walk. I guess I can walk back through it real quick. So let me just do that real quick. You might have came in later. You might have dipped out. I don't know. But let me see if I can walk you through that real quick. Hold on 1 second. Let me kill this real quick. Share my screen. Share screen. Hit that like button for me, guys. Hit that like button. Hit that like button for me. Hit that like button. All right, so here's a tool that the DOT has for people that ask this question. Like I said, I get asked this question a lot. A lot of people have gotten misled, but the FMCSA has a tool right here for you to determine if you need one or not. The link is on the presentation that I just clicked off on. So when you go to that link that I provided, you're going to hit this button, find out now. All right. Are you a motor carrier transporting property or passengers in commerce? Obviously, you're going to hit yes. Are you an interstate carrier? If you plan on crossing state lines, then you're going to hit yes. All right. All right. This is the question that you need to pay attention to, because everyone always gets hung up on B. I operate a vehicle with a gross vehicle weight of 10,000 or more, and they think because it's 10,000 or more, they don't need one. Pay attention to A. I am a for-hire motor carrier. You're for-hire because someone's paying you to move commercial freight. You're for-hire. So you're a for-hire carrier. So you're going to hit yes. It's going to open up the page so you can start applying for your DOT. So yes, you need a DOT if you're for-hire. Now, let's go back. Are you an interstate? Do you plan on crossing state lines? If you don't plan on crossing state lines, then you're going to go interstate. Does one of the more following apply? I carry one or more types of hazardous material. You don't carry hazardous material. My state of domicile requires me to obtain a U.S. DOT number apart from FMCSA's regulations. Some states, hold on, let me move this out the way. Some states require their interstate carrier registrants to obtain a U.S. DOT number. Here's a link that's going to let you know which states. If your state falls here, then yes, you need a U.S. DOT number for your state. If you're doing commercial, you're carrying commercial. All right, now let's go back. All right. So all right. So does one of the more following apply? So if your state of domicile is on that list, then obviously you're going to hit yes. It's going to take you there. Now, if your state isn't on there, and there's a few states that aren't on there, like my state isn't on there because my state has a state regulatory for under 10,000 pounds. They don't require the DOT because we have the ICC. Anything over 10,000 pounds, then we got to have the ICC and the DOT. All right, so every state is different. You got to look at your state. If your state isn't on there, then you click no, and then it says you don't need one. So I recommend that you use this tool that I provided in the live. I'll go back to where I have it at here, and then what we'll do is we'll drop down to this link here. All right, and that's where you go find that tool. That is a direct link. It's a direct link to the actual tool. All right, so make sure you get that information. Hopefully that answers your question. All right, I'm going at this business in a different direction. I'm trying to build a credit first to buy my first vehicle, meaning business credit. All right, so it's going to be hard building your business credit if you haven't started your business. So I think I hear your direction. If you have a business that you've already structured, right, and incorporated, all right, in order for you to start building that credit, you're going to have to start, using that business credit as far as buying equipment, buying a vehicle, buying supplies and things of that nature. All right, early on, for any business, especially in today's times, a lot of the bigger purchases you can build it. Like if you got like little, like using like a lot of people say go this route. I don't recommend it. Getting the account with what's that real expensive spot everybody buys supplies from. They're based here too. Uline. You get one of those accounts, man, that stuff is highway robbery. I wouldn't suggest you use Uline for nothing. But they report to your business credit, DMB, Dun & Bradstreet, and all that. The downside of that is the stuff that you're buying on there, you're paying highway robbery prices for it. The stuff it's like shrink wrap on there, 80 gauge shrink wrap, man. I wouldn't, if you gave me the money to buy supplies for my company, I wouldn't buy supplies off of that. I wouldn't. I buy cases of shrink wrap now. It's higher now. I remember paying $40 a case. All right, I pay about $70 a case now for shrink wrap. On Uline, they want like $120, $130 a case for 80 gauge. You know what I'm saying? Building your business credit is going to take time. All right. Obviously, the larger things you buy, you're going to have to personally guarantee it anyway. You're going to have to be a personal guarantor. All right. What is a personal guarantor? Basically, you're just co-signing for your business. That's it. Certain things you're going to have to do. It takes time. You know what I'm saying? So, it is what it is. Like, but that whole Uline, I be seeing people talking about that stuff. But what they don't tell you is you're building it. They report, but you're paying 2 and 3 times the amount. The whole thing I teach is making more money and saving more money and making more money. I'm not going to send you somewhere where you're going to spend twice the amount for a case of shrink wrap or twice the amount for a case of tape just so they can report it. When I can save $70 and get the same 80 gauge shrink wrap and save $70. And that $70 for a cargo van can fill up the tank. You see what I'm saying? So I think me personally, the way I did it was just built it over time. Things that I needed to personally guarantee, I personally guaranteed. And I just kept, paying the bills. And over time, the business credit was built. Mark, when you end stream, start a private stream and invite me so we can get bugs out. 10-4. Hey, can you drop your email? Do you mind dropping your email in the chat if you don't mind? It's the way I can copy and paste it. Axel, if you don't mind dropping your email in the chat, I appreciate it. Reefer heavy haul? Nope. If I do semis, I'm gonna do reefer because that's what my homies do. They do reefer, so like they'll just give me all the reefer game, and I'll probably do it on a local level, because there's plenty of opportunity being here. We're the number, we're the intermodal capital of the country. So like I'll do like reefer intermodal and stuff like that, and that's if I decide to do it. That would be the lane, reefer. I wouldn't do heavy haul. I would do reefer local. Shout out to all my homies that do intermodal reefer here. People are running from veterans. Trust me, I know a lot of work from them. Drivers are garbage. Overthrough drivers are making with sprinters 400 to 800 a week, working like dogs. Come on, man. I get you. But you know what I'm saying? Like, here's the thing. If and it just goes back to like what I say about these courses and stuff. If you accept it, you accept it. Sky's the limit. You know what I'm saying? If that's what they're paying and they got people accepting, I can't knock them for increasing their margins. I don't know what their margins are, but if I throw out crumbs, right, and a person takes it, not everybody is going to have a moral compass, you know what I'm saying, and say, you know what, I know what I'm paying is not enough money to sustain a comfortable living. You got some people out here that are just very shrewd companies. You have people that are very shrewd businessmen. All right. I get it. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people don't. And some people will take those crumbs and will never take the time out their day to look for better opportunities. I can't knock that company, even though what they're doing, I can't say it's right or wrong. You know what I'm saying? I'm a little bit more compassionate. I have a moral compass. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of these big companies don't. The individual who's operating their vehicle has to take the time out and say, you know what? I'm working like a dog. Like you said, there has to be something better out here. If they don't take the time out of their day to go look for it, then that's on them. Like, you got to be smart and you got to be a dog. Listen, when I say a dog, like, I mean like a dog, you know what I'm saying? Don't nothing last forever. I always say that. You got to suck out of something as much as you can while the getting is good. Axel Live, you eggnog fun. I appreciate it, Axel. Thank you. Thank you very much for the super sticker or super chat. You got to get out of it while the getting is good. You got to know when your run is here and take advantage of your run. So, yeah, I get you. I know about veterans just as much as you know. We're both from here. We both have experience either with them or knowing about them as far as them trying to recruit me and my company, or you may be going for opportunities. It sucks, but, you know, you just got to keep looking for those better opportunities, man. I feel you, though. I think local short runs are now big game money with cargo vans. Yeah, I see a lot of them on the gig apps. You know, a lot of them have been on these gig apps. You just got to be on the right gig app at the right time of the day and snatch it off. I was looking forward to y'all's conversation, your tips about the space. Yeah, me and Axel, we're going to get it together, man. We're going to get it together, man. We're probably just going to have to stream it on another platform. The platform we're on is very high tech and it requires a lot of tweaking. It's not something that's it's a beginner, it's more advanced. So we may go on another platform and have that conversation in a few weeks. Cargo van is in the name of the name. Cargo van is the name of the game with good paying customers and low expenses, good business. Yeah, cargo van. You know, people ask me this question too. I get this question asked a lot lately, you know what I'm saying, quite often. Hey, Mark, if you were entering into the space now, how would you enter? And then I have to think of it from a couple ways. Like, am I entering in the space now knowing the information I've gathered since being in this industry since 2010, or entering the space now as a novice and just ignorant without knowing anything? So if I were entering into this space now, knowing what I've known and I've gathered over the years, based off experience, I would definitely enter in now with a cargo van, because there's more opportunity there, for my own personal reasons. If I were entering into this space now, not knowing what I know over the years, gathering information and being experienced, I'm gonna be honest with you. I probably want to go the 26-foot route, and it's kind of hard to answer that question because I know the industry. But I'm gonna go out on a limb and say I probably 26-footer. You know what I'm saying? But then again, maybe not. Might enter. It's kind of hard to answer that question, but it's something I get asked often. But cargo van, there's a lot of opportunity there. I think, like I said earlier, there's just, your day never ends with car. Like your cargo van, you can literally work it till midnight. There's no cap. There's none of that. Once you finish with one thing, you can go to the next. Amazon Flex, in most markets, I know in the larger markets, have opportunities all day at multiple facilities. Roadie, all day. You know what I'm saying? Some of these other apps, so there's opportunity out there. There's opportunity out there. Spoke seems like good money. They are advertising $2 to $25 for cargo vans. I got a call from them, but don't have a truck yet. Shaking my head. Yeah. So like I said, Spoke is on the higher paying side. The reason why, because it's supplies. So even though these supplies are like 50 pounds, doubt if you get any hospital bids. I know they say it on the advertisement, but can't fit a hospital bed in a cargo van. I know this. I know because these companies, they always call companies like mine to move hospital beds because all their owner operators have cargo vans and they don't fit. Then it requires two people, and in most cases a lift gate because that bed has that motor on it. They're heavy. So, but yeah, it's supplies, oxygen tanks, like I said, crutches, wheelchairs, walkers, canes, things of that nature, and they usually run up to about 150 miles. Happy holidays to you and your family too, Z, man. Make sure you bundle up, you be careful out here, and many blessings to you and your family, man. Thank you. Do you go to logistics conferences? No, sir. Never been to any logistics conferences. I said I'm probably gonna, let me stop. I probably ain't gonna go to none. I probably ain't gonna start going to none either. I ain't never been to none. Don't have any plans on going to anytime soon. Nah. I'm just tuning in. Who do you suggest for getting a cargo van or a box truck from? Cargo van, you can get a cargo van from plenty of places depending on what type of cargo van you want to get, what type, what size, extended length, regular wheelbase, high roof, short roof, double wheelbase 3500, single wheelbase 3500, depending on what you want to do. I would personally go to a dealer to get the cargo van. I would buy used, and depending on what I was looking to do with the cargo van would determine what dealer, what van I would get, as far as the manufacturer is concerned. As far as box trucks is concerned, I would definitely get a used box truck. I wouldn't buy new for my first box truck. I would depending on what my budget would be, I would first start looking. Depending on my area, I would see if there was like a box truck dealer in the area. If there was, I would go out to the box truck dealer, kind of compare rates, see what they have to offer. I would go to Penske used truck sales. Out of all the big four, they have the best resale rates. All right, you're going to get the best rates from budget, but the reason why you're going to always get better rates from budget is because budget doesn't have a platform where they sell their used trucks. They always send their used trucks to auction. All right, so you're going to always get better rates for budget, but you're going to have to go to auction and get them. All right, so if you're looking for one of the big four as far as their site is concerned, where they have a platform where they sell their own used trucks, out of the three remaining, Ryder, Enterprise, and Penske is going to always have the better rates. So then I would go to Penske next. After that, if my budget is cheaper than that and I don't care about warranties, level 1, level 2, level 3 inspection as far as how they rate the quality of truck, then I would start to catch a deal off these boards. I would be looking on Facebook Marketplace. I'd be looking on OfferUp. I'd be looking on Commercial Truck Trader. Commercial Truck Trader would probably be last. I'd probably go to Facebook Marketplace and OfferUp first. All right, I would do it in that order. Do you think a 170 EXT is needed, or a regular 170 Sprinter will work just as good? Depends on what you're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? If you're looking to haul pallets, whether you're doing expedite or whether let's say you're doing partials, and you're doing pallets, you're going to do pallets, I would definitely go high roof extended length. All right, I want to maximize my earning potential, so I'm gonna get the longest wheelbase, right, and I'm gonna get the highest roof. All right. That's what I would do. If you plan on running pallets. Now, if you're not running pallets, let's say you're doing final mile parcel, you know what I'm saying, things of that nature, then it doesn't really require it. If you're doing parcel packages, the only thing value you're getting out of a high roof for doing parcel is that you could stand up in it, and you ain't got to crouch down when you're in the back of the van moving stuff around. You can stand up in it. That's the only added value you're going to get for doing parcel with a high roof. But if you're going to do pallets, then you definitely want to do extended length high roof, because you got to maximize your earning potential. And you're going to need that extra length to put that extra pallet on. And you're going to need that because they're loading that thing with a forklift, and if those pallets are stacked high, you need that extra height clearance as well. Unless if you're doing true over road, you need to have your own lease on Expedited Care and run under their authority. Let me see. I don't have a van or a truck. Any of these companies let you use your personal vehicle? Yeah. So I'm gonna pull this back up, and I'll point out something that lets you use your personal vehicle. All right. US Pack, you can use your personal vehicle. US Pack, you can use your personal vehicle. T-Force, you can use your personal vehicle. So T-Force, you can use your personal vehicle. US Pack, you can use your personal vehicle. T-Force Medical, you can use your personal vehicle. On this side, Flex, you can use your personal vehicle. Walmart Spark, you can use your personal vehicle. Roadie, you can use your personal vehicle. GoShare, you can use your personal vehicle. Thumbtack, Angie's Lead, TaskRabbit, Instacart, you can use your personal vehicle for all of those. You can use your personal vehicle for all of those. Let me make sure I didn't miss one. No, I didn't miss one. Did I miss one? No. Greatness, I'm planning to buy a Ford Transit from the car auction. It seems to be the best way to save money. Yeah, you save a lot of money from the auction. You can get started with your SUV though first if it works better for you. Yeah, there's a lot of opportunities, guys, and I tell you this, like all you guys that keep saying you're waiting to get your van, some of these companies you can run in your car. A lot of people didn't know that until I told them this a month or so ago, and I get testimonials of people running in their car. I had a guy tell me he's making $2,000 in his car doing medical. Didn't know it until I talked about it. You see what I'm saying? So, due diligence, guys, you got to do your due diligence. Like I said, and here's the thing. When I say due diligence, I get it. Like I said the other day when I did that live about quitting your job to start a box truck business, I had to put myself, because I wanted to see what you guys see. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to see what you guys see. I wanted to understand why you guys pay the money that you pay. So I went and researched from you guys. Like, I didn't know nothing about box trucking, and I see it's not a lot of information out there, so I kind of get it. So I can't really jump down people's throats for not doing their due diligence up to a certain point. Certain information you're gonna get. Like me putting up this PDF with all these companies, I saw a guy trying to sell companies in their course. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna do that. And I know Google is not gonna give you companies. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. You know what I'm saying? So just keep checking in with me, and I am going to, do my best to give you the right information to get in. Like I said, you can start with your car. US PEC, you can drive with your car. T-Force, they have opportunities for you to get in logistics and start making money in your car. And in Georgia, they have a dedicated guaranteed run in your car for doing StockX. They're going to give you StockX, Zara, and some other retailers. And sometimes it's only one stop, but you get a guarantee of $225. When I dropped that sauce, man, they said, man, with so many people at T-Force the next day, they had to lock the door. I swear to God, I'm not capping. They said they had to lock the door. I swear to God. $225 guarantee. For those that don't know what a guarantee is, means it's a guarantee. Whether you get one stop or 10 stops, you're guaranteed to make $225. And this is in your personal vehicle. Can't say they're doing it anymore. But when I get the inside information and I validate the sauce and I give y'all the sauce, y'all got to run to get the sauce. You see what I'm saying? So there's opportunity for you to get in logistics with your personal vehicle if you do not have a cargo van yet, and you can start building that money and using logistics to save up for you to go get that cargo van. It's opportunities in your car. You can deliver sneakers from StockX in your car. They don't just use FedEx or UPS. They use T-Force as well. So Zara uses T-Force. American Eagle uses T-Force. There's a bunch of other retailers that use T-Force in your personal vehicle on a guarantee. US PAC, another one. All right. T-Force Medical. All right. Another one. And all of these pretty much. Amazon, listen. If you want to really make some money, you can go do some blocks. Spark, Roadie, GoShare, Instacart, Thumbtack. So you can get started. You don't have to wait till March. You don't have to wait. You can get in there now and start building that bread up. You can start building that bread up, guys. So he's absolutely right. You can get in there with your vehicle. No, they don't. I'm about 3 months new to this. I don't know about the Expedited, so let me take that back. Expedite, I don't know. That's something you might want to ask Axel about. I'm about 3 months new to this. I've been doing a lot of research. It's been quite interesting. That's good, man. Keep researching, man. You can never, even when you enter into the space and you're up and running, keep learning. Keep learning. There's always new opportunities. Technology is forwarding the space at a rapid pace. So you want to stay ahead of things, opportunities. So keep learning. I'm still learning. I'm still learning. There's a lot of things that I know, but guess what? Things are constantly changing. Things are constantly evolving. The industry is changing. All right. I created this YouTube 7 months ago now. And I'm in it now. A lot of people come to me for information. So even though I have all my years of experience and the information that I've gathered from being in the industry, as long as I've had, still things are shifting, shaping, changing every single day. So I still have to keep myself abreast of all, the upcoming technology advances and changes within certain logistical processes and systems and things of that nature, because a lot of people come to me and ask me questions, or they come to me and ask me for advice. So I'm always still learning. I got my years of experience, but the industry constantly changes. So always keep learning, always keep learning. Even when you're tenured in the industry, keep learning, keep learning. Yes. You van always start low. What can you afford? Car, SUV, minivan, cargo van. As long as you start making money, you can grow. Yep, that's the thing. As long as you start making money, even if you start with your car, you can grow. Yeah, Uline, I don't recommend Uline. That's me. They're high as hell. Stay away from them. There's other way. Like all the equipment they got, all the supplies they got, you can find in other places. If you need help for certain things, I can tell you where I buy my shrink wrap from. I can tell you where I buy my tape from. All my moving supplies, I get from CDS. All right. Google CDS. All right. So even if you don't have a moving company, you need a case of shrink wrap, Google CDS. All right. That's where I get all my supplies from. All right. You're going to save a lot more money, you know what I'm saying, with CDS than going to Uline. All right. Actually, I'm gonna give y'all some more sauce. I get all my shrink wrap. I get all my tape. What is this? What's this axle joint? Let's see if it's clear now. You.
Can you hear me?
Can't hear you.
Still can't hear me?
Can't hear you. Yeah, so Uline is probably one of those companies that, I know why a lot of people go to Uline for the same reason people go to Progressive. It's highly popular. They spend a lot of money on search engine optimization, and when you guys Google certain supplies and stuff, they come up first. But they're high as giraffe, you know what. So if you need some type of equipment and you don't know where to get it, and Uline is the only place you see it, you can shoot me a DM, let me know what you're looking for, and I can point you in the right direction, save you some money. Can you hear me, Axel?
Can you hear me?
Can't hear you. Hit that like button, guys. Hit that like button. Shout out to Pippi. I heard US Pack is good paying company, but it's hard to get work. They have some good work though. Just keep applying with US Pack. Just keep applying, stay aggressive. Check the boards too. A lot of the times, I gave that information, that sauce earlier in my YouTube when I was building my platform earlier on. A lot of these logistics companies, they have recruiters, and on the boards, the recruiter has their number, and they say call or text. You know what I'm saying? So go on the board in your local area, search US Pack, and see if they have any Indeed or a Glassdoor or ads up. And if they do, it might be a chance that the recruiter has their number up, and then contact the recruiter. Sometimes what happens is if there's like an influx of people, applicants, you get kind of caught up, right? You kind of get caught up in their system because they got people just applying. So what happens if you get in contact with the recruiter, you get the recruiter's number, what you can do is they're going to ask you for your requisition number. They're going to ask you for that requisition number, and then they'll be able to pull your application because you're probably just lost in the sauce somewhere with a bunch of other people who are looking to onboard. But that's a secret that you can do as well. I'm a female. I would like to know if we can do no-touch freight. Yeah, with a cargo van, yeah. Well, it depends. If you're doing partial, final mile, partial in a cargo van, you're going to have to touch it. All right. If you're doing, let's say, expedite, partial, over the road, then obviously you're not going to have to touch it because there's no way for you to unload a pallet. They're going to have to load it with a forklift and unload it with a forklift. So, yeah. You can do no touch in your cargo van if you're doing OTR or expedite. For for that, you're gonna need a big boy. You're gonna need either a T250 high roof extended or a T350 high roof single dual. I recommend dual, or you're gonna have to get the big boy Sprinter 2535. I recommend 3500. If you're gonna do it, you might as well do it. You know what I'm saying? If that's the lane you choose to do. But then yeah, you're not gonna have to touch nothing because all that stuff is gonna have to get loaded with a fork. But if you're doing partial stuff, then yeah, you're gonna have to touch it. Like just have van or trunk loaded, no touch without my help, unloaded to client without my help. Yeah, you can do partial pallets because they're gonna have to load it and unload it with a fork. Valentine, yeah, it'll be up once the live ends, it'll be up for replay. As always. If you're talking to me, you can check out TAC Auction. That's the auction that I watch, TAC. I did a video on TAC maybe about 5-6 months ago. If you go through my catalog, it's not titled TAC, it's titled budget truck auction. And then you'll see what auction I'm talking about. They auction their commercial equipment on Wednesdays, every Wednesday. Every Wednesday. It's an online auction. Yeah, US Pat, I heard pays really, really well. Veterans never give you guarantee because they play dirty games, cheap runs. Yeah, they never gave me. I leaned on them. I tried to get it. They wouldn't budge. So I never worked with them. I couldn't run veterans without a guarantee because their system is not set up for a master contractor. Their system is set up for an owner operator. And they wouldn't budge even though I'm a master contractor. They just wouldn't budge, so they didn't care. So I never did work with them. Let's see. Axel, thanks again for that super chat. I really appreciate it. Yes, I used to have my own company for 20 years plus lots of games, and now I want to come back because I think is a good time, pay good, low expenses. Let's see. Veterans Distribution is a local delivery company, pretty big delivery company on a local level. They got 1 million square foot state of the art. So they have like a lot of local contracts. So on a larger scale, independent owned delivery logistics company here in Chicago. Yes, I used to have my own company too, but I answered that one. Let me see. I'm in Chicago. Yeah, last mile delivery is booming. Now is not a good time for anyone to enter low volume and low rates. Oh, hey, what's the deal on Amazon Relay? I heard it's pretty good, and then there's talk it's not. I don't run Amazon Relay, so I don't know. I hear the same thing you hear. I hear people saying it's really good. I hear other people saying it's not really good. I hear some content creators. So I look at it from both sides. I don't run it. So I look at content creators. So there's mixed, I guess mixed emotions, or if that, not lack of a better word, I guess there's mixed feelings as far as content creators is concerned about Amazon. There's some content creators that are really, really strong about it. And then there's some content creators that are not strong about it. And then there's some content creators that are fair weather. 1 minute they're happy, 1 minute they're saying it's. I don't like to use words, and I don't advise you guys to use words like trash and garbage. I actually talked about that on a live a few weeks ago because that puts a negative connotation on something, because just because it didn't work for you doesn't mean it's not going to work for someone else. And by you putting that negative connotation, you may deter someone from actually giving it a try. So I know I'm critical on Amazon, but not from that standpoint of actually making money. I'm talking about the company as a whole. So I'm gonna always be fair. You know what I'm saying? So I see mixed, sentiment as far as a content and influencer creator standpoint. But then again, when I look at like viewership, like people like subs and things from my channel, other channels that I may watch, it's mixed there as well. So, I think in some situations it works for some people, in other situations it doesn't work. But that's like any other business, you know what I'm saying? What I was able to do, with Final Mile and Moving, I've seen people that I know try to duplicate what I did and didn't even make it in 6 months. You know what I'm saying? For various reasons, you know what I'm saying? And that's in any business. You have somebody who opens up a restaurant, someone open up a restaurant right across the street. They both a pizza shack. This person's pizza may taste better than this pizza, but because this person's pizza is more economically priced, even though it doesn't taste better than the pizza across the street, this person does better and puts this person out of business because they're in direct competition with each other. You know what I'm saying? So, Amazon is one of those things where it's kind of a touchy subject, you know what I'm saying? Because you have people that are fair weather about it. You have some people that are really strong about it. And then you got some people that are just really hate it. And, it is what it is. Veterans Distributions in Hillside used to be with the old names, Veteran Mesh. Yeah, they used to be Chicago Messenger. So it was Veterans Distribution and Chicago Messenger. Chicago Messenger was on 16th and Ashland. And then once they built that state-of-the-art facility out in Hillside, eventually they just folded everything into Veterans. You're right. So you're an old school guy like me. But with very bad reputation, they go through lots of drivers because nobody wants to work. I think they go through a lot of drivers because of their price point. They're very, very cheap. And you gotta remember, like the old man who started Chicago Messenger back in the day, it was a bike messaging courier company, and then they had to evolve into what they are now with obviously e-commerce and things of that nature. But back in the day, it was always a bike messenger company. All right. So I think, the old man who owns it, they're just cheap. They're gonna suck out of you what they can suck out of you, and they're sucking a lot out of people. If people want to run for them, then that's on the people. There's plenty of opportunities out here. There's no way you're running, all right, for a logistics company, right, with your van, and you're not making more than the person who's running Amazon Flex or who's running Amazon Fresh or who's running Instacart. They're running gigs and they're making $400 or $500 in this market. So that's on them. If they don't take the time to do the due diligence to see what else is out there, then that's on them. It's on them. There's a lot of options. So Axel runs Expedite. That's not my lane. It's his lane. That's why I want to bring him up to talk about it. Right now, as far as the cargo van, I think there is opportunity in Final Mile because that's where the volume and the money is at right now. I think people have to get out of the old way of doing one thing and going home. You may have to do 2 or 3 things to supplement now. You may have to, like I said, run Waco or run T-Force. You get there at 6 in the morning and you do your route. If your route ends at 12, then boom, Flex got stuff all day. You got to supplement. That's the whole point. You got to supplement now. The long are the days where you can go to one company, run, and then that's it. If the opportunity is not there, you have to go where the opportunity is at. If the opportunity is here for the first half of the day, then the first half of the day, the van got to be there. If the opportunity is here for the early afternoon, then you go where the opportunity at. That's the whole, I guess that's the beauty of having a cargo van in today's times with essentials being steady, consistent. You're always going to be able to make money with the cargo van. If everything else is slow, essentials are going to be moving. All right. Another bonus that I don't talk about, and the reason why I don't talk about it is because it's not guaranteed. Some of these apps, you can make good money with tips. I had someone send me a testimonial right before I went on live. It's actually someone I know here in this market. They did Amazon Flex route, and one of the customers, was it Amazon Flex route? Yeah, it was an Amazon Flex route, and they got a $50 tip. So, you know, some of these apps are you know, you get tips. So you got an opportunity for added incentives. Whereas, you know, if you're running parcel in your van final mile, you know, these are all contracted, whatever, it's not tip based. Whereas Amazon Fresh, Whole Foods is tip based. I think, obviously if you're running like service provided stuff like Thumbtack, tip base. If you're running like Select Express and you're assembling people's bids and you're going into people's homes and you're putting stuff together and you're carrying stuff, obviously you can generate and garner tips from that. So I don't talk about it because I don't want people to get up thinking people owe them tip, and you can just kind of calculate, well, once I figure out I should get $100 in tip. No, you can't figure that out. You know, a tip is not something that is guaranteed, but I'm just saying that, you know, some of these avenues are, you can also make good money in tips as well, especially like those moving apps, anything that's service based, you can get tips from. There's also a big push to crush the small guys. You know, personally from talking to brokers, and it's not the brokers, it's the bigger expedite companies who want to control. I'm talking strictly Expedited, not any other apps. True Freight from shippers and brokers. Yeah, he's talking Expedite, Tim. What prices should you look for? As far as what? As far as what? Prices you should look for as far as what? I don't use load boards and have broker connections where I get emails and calls for loads. How do you get a fleet of trucks? You build it. It takes time, you know, depending on. All right, so here's the thing where a person now has to be careful with building fleet. This is how I did it, all right? This is how I did it. I started out small, grassroots, with a pickup truck. Then I started renting trucks. I rented one truck, still was getting calls, rented another truck, still was getting calls, found more people to work, rented another truck. Then I started buying trucks, all right? And then as I bought trucks, I got opportunities, all right? So I was running IKEA. They always needed more trucks. Why? Because ICs, like he was saying, don't come to work. So I saw more opportunity. But now this is a time period where none of these apps that I talk about didn't exist when I built my fleet up. So there was always people inquiring about work. You know, it's a little bit different now because, like I always talk about, there's plenty of opportunity for people to work for themselves, whether they're their own owner operators, they have their own truck, or they want to go on an app and work for themselves. So, you know, when I built my fleet up, it was a different time period. All right. But I built it one truck at a time over a period of, in 2014, I bought 7 trucks alone. All right. Would I be able to do that in this time period? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. So how to build a fleet in this time period? I would do it one truck at a time. I would make sure I have guaranteed for sure people to put in that truck before I go out and purchase another truck. All right. And then you have to make sure you got the work. All right. You want to focus more on dedicated stuff. All right. And go from there. So bodies is going to be your biggest concern nowadays. People are seat hoppers now. They jump from seat to seat. So if you do decide to scale, one of your biggest challenges, one of your biggest feats that you're going to have to overcome is finding people to put in them seats. And once you find them, then you're going to create another challenge of keeping them. All right. So that's going to be your biggest feat. One truck at a time, though. Don't go out and get 4 or 5 trucks. That'd be the worst thing you can do. One truck at a time. One truck at a time. Build one truck up, let it pay itself off, and then go get a new truck. If opportunity presents itself and you have guaranteed work, then you can consider, scaling. But you have to make sure that the one truck you're running before you scale is profitable. If you're not profitable on one truck, then you don't need to be going to get in a second truck, because you're just going to increase your whatever you're operating at a loss. You're just going to increase that times 2. So make sure that you're profitable first. Let me see. With cargo vans, you have lots of opportunities. Agreed. Veterans used to be top paying company, but they got bad when they merged with Chicago. Well, Veterans didn't merge with Chicago Messenger. Veterans is Chicago Messenger. Chicago Messenger was first. Veterans, well, you know what? That's the same owner, but I think once they shifted over from Chicago Messenger, from that bike messaging thing, and they had to get with the times in the 2000s, and then in the 2010s, I think, with a lot of the contracts they got, me and Veterans shared Nonstop for a while. Nonstop only dealt with 3 companies in Chicago: Veterans, my company, and then another company in the south suburbs. So Veterans leverages, they have a 1 million square feet warehouse. All right. So they got a lot of working parts because they have a 1 million square feet warehouse, because they have all these bells and whistles and moving parts. They got a lot of people in those back offices that got to make money, and those they have to pay, and those people are getting paid off the work that the contractors are doing. All right. All those lights in that place, all those managers, operations manager, all those people in the office, all those dock workers, all got to get paid from those percentages that the owner operates out. So they're sucking that away from them. So I understand it, but just like I said, like, man, people gotta move around. If it ain't working, they gotta move around. That warehouse, when they built that warehouse in Hillside, that 1 million square feet, they gotta make that's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. I'm in carry with the MC and DOT as well, true owner operator. I'm looking at getting a Ford Transit 4A with the highest roof so that I have the most options available for freight. Go for it. 2,500 or 3,500, or 250 rather for Ford, to 350. Cargo van's good opportunity now, specifically because of the experience. Not like trucking companies. See, I was thinking working in my car, because before I knew about Cargo Box, I did Amazon Flex. I always drove for other apps, strange things. I never heard of the box truck cargo van bids at all. The videos just kept popping up, and one day I clicked on it. This is the business area. We have the right mindset, the opportunity available. We should all make together a chat group and help each other out. Yeah, that's what we're doing now. Ship Spark, favorite GoPuff I haven't ran in my Fiat. Anytime I was working, 16. Okay, this side conversation. I think Ford Transit. I made like over 300 a day. Only downside is if customer lied and they said they didn't get their food, took your payback. It's a word prime. All right, this is side conversations. Who, me? No. I'm using the Mac speaker, but I can't hear myself, so I don't have any headphones on. So as I'm talking, I don't have to hear the playback. You know how some people want to hear themselves? I don't need to hear myself, so I don't have any headphones on. So it's just me talking. That's why I don't have any headphones on. I don't need to hear myself. Just using the Mac speaker, the iMac speakers. Yeah, hit that like button, guys. Hit that like button. I'm looking to leave my 9 to 5 in January and take this business very seriously and build up, beginning with low overhead. I need to know, how do you find your next delivery parcel? Like for X, you get boxes loaded up and make it stop to location. How do you locate the box for client out of all those boxes? So if you get loaded up, it's your job to sort. You're your own owner operator. When you pull up to the dock, one or two things is going to happen. Either they're going to have your freight on the dock for you, or they're not going to have the freight, or they have it and they're still pulling it. So it's your responsibility to load your vehicle when you get there. Now, how you load it is up to you. Obviously, you want to load it to a point where you want to put your first stop in last and your last stop in first. So when you look at your route, whether it's app based or whether it's like old school where they give you a route sheet, you got to kind of know your city. See, this is something I've always trained my guys on, especially when we're doing Office Depot. You got to know your city. So when you look and you glance, you got to optimize your route in your head to the best of the ability. I had my guys spoiled when we would do like large stop contracts, because with the routing system with Fleetmatics, my operations manager could just route it for them, put all the stops in, hit optimize, and the route would optimize from the start point to the end point, and just hit go, and it'll get sent from our office to the truck's Garmin system. This is the old school way of doing it. But if you don't have that technology, you can use an app or a website called Route for Me, but then you got to punch all that stuff in. So a true courier is going to know their market, or they're going to learn their market to the best of their ability. You're going to glance at your route sheet, you're going to glance at the route, you're going to look at your stops, and then you're going to start loading your van, first stop in, last stop in first. And then you're going to optimize it in your head. They never give it to you optimized. Some companies will, but most companies, for the most part, don't. It just stops all over the place. I don't know how they generate, if they generate it by order and they just print it out and give it to you. But if it's one of those ones where it's not already optimized, you're going to have to optimize it in your head. And that's how you're going to have to load your van. And that's going to save you time, because you don't want to get stop and then have to dig in through stuff. Okay, this stop is supposed to be 3 pieces, but you just threw the stuff in there. So now this one box is buried. This box is in the front of the truck. This box is in the back of the truck. Like, you have to, like, that's something that you have to do on your own. Tim, I have an LLC, so intended for another type of transportation. Is not making money another because I'm not officially open, but I'm going to change the name. Just open. I'm going to pivot and just make a cargo box truck business. I'm in Houston, Texas. And so far as volume, I believe that work is there. The way I feel is that for as long as people need to send things and have this stuff delivered, there will always be work. So you're in Houston, which is the 4th largest city, 4th largest market in the country. So there's opportunity in Houston. There's definitely opportunity. I don't have to be in Houston. I don't have to know your market. Some markets, there's just going to be opportunity always. All right. I know from just being in the industry, as long as I've been, there's opportunity in Houston. Regardless, it may not be as much opportunity in a thriving economy, but there's more opportunity in Houston than there is, let's say, in Charlotte, or there is in Miami, or there is in Atlanta, or there is in, let's say, St. Louis. All right, because it's the 4th largest city in the country. It's a large city. It's a large, thriving city with millions of people. Houston is about 2 point something million, close to 3 million people. So yeah, there's opportunity in Houston. There's definitely opportunity in Houston. Is there a particular way to find recruiters in my town? Find out what you want to do, and then go on Indeed and do a search. If there's a recruiter for a company, like I said, some of the ones I put up, they'll have their name and their number on Indeed. So like, go to your city and type in US Pack, and then see if US Pack has opportunities for cargo van or box truck on whatever you're trying to do. And if they do, 8 times out of 10, if they have an ad, they'll have a recruiter, Joe, and his number, call or text. So that's the cheat code to find a recruiter number. A lot of times those company websites aren't going to give it to you, but the recruiter's numbers are usually on the job board app, the job board websites. What's the most passengers that the longest van can hold? 3 to 4, depending on how you load your hold on, let me blow this up. Your van. Damn it, hold on. Most cases 3. Somebody told me they were able to sneak. Damn, why do I keep sneak 4 on? But Most cases 3. I don't know how they did 4, but somebody told me they were able to get 4 on. I see cars, vans, and I'm doing this in the space. As long as the business product servers are using vans, there's opportunity. I've been considering joining cargo vans for 2 years, but right before I pull the trigger, I always get reminded that it is an oversaturated industry. Who says it's oversaturated? I don't think it's oversaturated. I think there's plenty of opportunity. I think there's more opportunity to come. I think if e-commerce keeps booming, the reason why I know it's not oversaturated at the moment is because more and more retailers are turning to gig apps. They're turning to gig apps for a few reasons, but they got to move this freight quick. I was in Walmart yesterday. It's a week before Christmas. Next Saturday is in Christmas Eve. I was in Walmart just shopping for essentials, deodorant, things like that yesterday at about 5 o'clock. All right. Now, I'm old enough to know what going to Walmart on a Saturday, the week before Christmas, in all my years should look like, right? It was empty. The people who were in Walmart were all in essentials. The toy aisle, there was a few people in the toy aisle, but not like the Christmas of 2018, 2019, 2017, or my childhood, or even the 2000s or the 90s. Listen, the aisles were empty. The shelves were stocked. Everybody was in the essential aisles. Now, that doesn't mean that people aren't shopping. Of course, volume isn't what you would expect volume to be for Christmas. It's lower this year, right? For obvious reasons, right? But the old traditional way that people Christmas shop, they're not doing it this year. I was in Walmart at 5 o'clock in the evening, the Saturday before Christmas. And the toy aisle was in pristine condition. People are shopping online, and in return, these stores are pushing these orders out to these gig drivers. They're pushing them out to the gig drivers because they have to turn that stuff around quick. So there's plenty of opportunity for cargo vans, for non-essential and essential goods. Even when non-essentials are down, essentials are still going to be thriving and steady. So I think the opportunity is there. At least I see it in my market. I can't speak for all markets. I see the opportunity in my market. And they don't have enough people to even satisfy what's coming through the apps. You know what I'm saying? They don't have enough people that was coming through, and there's tons of gig workers out here. So I would want to get a Ford E350 extended van, but again, I'm always afraid to pull the trigger because it's so oversaturated. What market are you in, Lauren, what market are you in? I have the mind. See, man, you guys got to focus on essentials too when you're in the van. You don't just have to focus on non-essentials. There's plenty of opportunity with a van for essentials. I have the mindset of this kind of job. I'm a people person. I'm a hard worker, and I've worked in marketing before, so I know how to sell my potential company if I were to start my own cargo van business. I'm planning to literally sign up for more than 10 apps. I thought low volume was only a problem. I'm trying to skip over and trying to catch up. Expedite, we do Lauren, there's such things. Expedite, straight box choice. So this is what I'm talking about, guys. It's people in the chat engaging, and people are getting value from each other. So this is what it's about, guys. So I'm just going to let you guys engage. I'm going to skip around to people who got questions. I'm going to let you guys engage. See, before I could even get to this question, somebody already answered it. Electronic login device. I was speaking of Uber. Chicago Metro used to be good. Uber still. All right, fine. Here's a question for me. I want the Ford Transit 350 Ford extended with the high roof. I want to be able to do both. Okay. Yeah, if you're gonna get the Ford Transit 350 extended with the high roof, just get the dual wheelbase with the clearance lights in the front. I would recommend the dual wheelbase. That dual wheelbase. You're gonna get a different spec than the single wheelbase T350. You'll be able to haul more weight in that back rear end with that dual wheelbase. So I recommend that if you're gonna do that. They have an app to organize your load. Yeah, I know there was it Route for Me or Route Me Now or Route Me Now? I don't know if they put that into an app, but I know it was a web based years ago. Do you ever recommend someone who might be short on cash but very motivated to buy my first van using business credit cards from an auction? I also have access to personal line of credit. Do you ever recommend someone who might be short on cash? Do I recommend somebody to buy a van? If you want to go to the auction, listen, if you don't have all the capital and you want to finance this thing, you have decent credit, I mean, you can go to a lot. I mean, here's the thing. There's nothing wrong with going to a lot. You know, the thing with a van, if you're going to go to a lot, if you might find something that's pre-owned certified, you still got some of that warranty or that extended warranty, or you can get an extended warranty. But as far as me knowing someone here, no. Appreciate you, Billy. No dually vans. Pallet does not fit between the wheel wells. Well, there you go. So no dualies, single wheelbase. That's the Axle Live. That's the Expedite King. Do you have a mentoring service or can I work out a consultation? So I don't do mentorships. I don't have a mentorship program, but I do consultation, coaching. It's on my website. Website is on, here's my website. www.boxtruckcourses.com. www.boxtruckcourses.com. I don't know if you can see it in that banner at the bottom. www.boxtruckcourses.com. What's the specs for the suggested cargo van to get the type of box truck if I decide to get a box truck? What's the specs for the suggested cargo van to get and the type of box truck if I decide? If you want to get a cargo van, like I said earlier, it all depends on what you want to do. If you just want to do gigs, then I recommend just getting a Ford Transit Connect. If you want to do expedite, partials, OTR, then high roof, extended wheelbase, 2500, 3500, Sprinter van, transit van. It all depends on what your plans and your goals are, what you're trying to accomplish as far as being a box truck. I mean, a cargo van owner operator. So that's something that you have to decide based on. The van would be based on what niche you kind of want to enter into the cargo van space. Now, as far as a box truck, same thing. What do you want to do? Obviously, there's going to be more opportunities for a 26-foot box truck with a lift gate. You can do Amazon. You can do OTR partials. I mean, 16-footer is going to limit you to what you can do. I know you said you're a woman, so I don't see you out there digging holes, post holes, and installing basketball goals and putting together exercise equipment. So that may not be the option for you. So 26-footer would probably be the way to go for you. You can do some partials in a 16-footer, but you're going to be limited because your capacity of space is limited. So I know, remember you said you don't want to do no touch. So if you don't want to really do no touch, you won't really get involved. Cargo van will probably be the easiest lane and option for you. You probably want to stay away just based off the engagement that I've been reading from you in the chat. Doesn't seem like you want to be too hands-on, so cargo van may be the best option for you. Three best vans: ProMaster 2500 or 3500, Ford Transit 250 or 350, Mercedes 250. We always say the tallest and the longest. Tallest and longest. If I hire someone to drive my cargo van, I would consider OTR, but just only me. I want to do local. Make sure the margins is there. Make sure the margin is there. So, a lot of people thought they were going to get into this logistics industry in 2020 and 2021 with the PPP money and thought they were going to create a second stream of revenue and didn't understand the business. Margins in this industry are very, very small. So make sure whatever you do, whatever lane you get in, make sure that your margins are where they need to be see, even Axel said you drinking now. And the reason why he's saying that is when I'm explaining it to you. You know what I'm saying? Margins are very small. Very small. You got a lot of owner operators now who are driving their own vehicles and operating at a loss. So now once you throw a driver into the mix that you got to pay, you got to make sure there's enough money being made. That van is generating enough money. You have the right opportunities. You're running the right loads that's generating enough money now to pay an extra expense, which is the driver. Like I said, there's a lot of owner operators now that are driving their own vehicles and operating at a loss. So, a lot of people got caught up in the past year or two because, like I said, they thought, they saw online, Instagram or wherever they saw that, man, get you a box truck or you a van, man, and throw a driver in there and add you a second stream of income. You gotta have multiple streams of revenue to achieve financial freedom and da-da-da-da. But what these people don't tell you is, this industry is based on small margins. So make sure you do your due diligence before you do that. Thanks, Mark. This right here was what I needed. Glad to find your channel recently. I'm very appreciative of what you're sharing with us. Hey, Tim, no problem, man. No problem, man. Most drivers can't handle the road or the van is not set up properly. That's another thing. What he's talking about. I've talked to a lot of people that threw people out there. I talked to a guy earlier this year. I think he got mad at me. He partnered with someone, a friend. Friend talked him into investing into this business. He was the investor. He put the money up. The friend was supposed to run all the loads. The friend ran one load and quit. They bought a $90,000 truck. Last I talked to him, the truck was sitting. He was spending $2,500 a month for the note and another $2,000 a month, or $2,900 for the note, $2,500 for the insurance, or $2,500 for the insurance. It was a lot. It was damn near $5,000 damn near between the insurance and the truck note. The man ran one load, talked him into investing, talked him into this trucking idea and this money and all this stuff. They did some research, watched some videos on YouTube, listened to some influencers. This guy was a successful businessman in another industry regarding trucks. I'm not going to talk about it, but he put up the money and the friend was supposed to do all the work. The friend did one load and quit, but left this man hanging with a $90,000 note and insurance. So you got to be careful. I know quite a few people that had that same idea in the past year or two that, eventually had to dissolve their business within that same year because they couldn't keep drivers or they couldn't find drivers. Drivers hop seat to seat. A lot of people don't want to do OTR now. There's a lot of things that I've talked about. If you're new to the channel, you got to go back and look through my catalog. I talked about the baby boomers exiting right now. The baby boomers are exiting. All right. Generation Z is not filling these seats. Generation Z is a lazy, shout out to Generation Z. They're lazy. I did a whole live on this about a month ago. They're a lazy generation. In order for things to keep evolving and keep going on, as the boomers exit, for every 6 boomers that are exiting right now, only two Generation Z are taking those seats. So, Generation Z don't want to go OTR. So you got to look at, you really have to do a real deep analysis. Like, I can really go deep. I don't really go too deep because I don't want to go over people's heads. So I have to, when I do these lives, I have to approach it a certain way so I can keep your attention, because I don't want to be too advanced. I got to start out small. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things I can really go deep into, as far as like scaling and additional streams of revenue, as far as buying a van or buying a truck and thinking you're going to put a driver in there, you're going to be making that $2,000, $2,500, and this is going to roll in. This driver is just committed to just slaving over the road for you. Don't work like that no more. You have to look at the current generation that's coming in, that's supposed to be filling these seats. They don't want to fill these seats, or they think they want to fill these seats. And once they get out there and their girl come calling back from home, and they're not answering the phone, they start getting nervous that she's cheating or he's cheating or whatever the situation would be. They're not built like the boomers. They're not built like Generation X, my generation. They're not even built like the millennials, the early millennials. All right. They're not built like that. All right. So these are things that, later on, I've talked about these things, but I may have to revisit these things that you have to look into if you're planning on investing in business, as far as hiring and scaling, because this is the generation that you would be needing to hire to fill these seats. Something to think about. Something to think about. Okay, it's good to know. That's my plan, was actually drive first myself and then hire someone once I'm ready, if I choose to. Be sure to invest in a great chiropractor and a great masseuse. Trucking and vanning are very hard on the body. Definitely very hard on the body. Greatness, the best is to be able to do it yourself for at least a year to see what is involved, but it also depends on who or how you get loads. He's correct. Sometimes we drive 1,000 miles straight, 17 to 18 hours with quick pit stop for fuel. Right. See, that's that Expedite. That's why I want him to talk about that. Expedite is a different monster. I know the basics of it, but he knows it in depth. Like that Expedite, different monster. Shout out to you, Axel. Like those guys, like they sleep in the back of the van. Like if you look at some of these Expedite vans, they got the little roll up mattress that rolls up, and then they pull over and they like salute to them. Salute to the Expedite van people, because I gotta put a Jamaican air horn or something for the Jamaican. Shout out to them, because they're a different animal. So I can't. It's different. They different. So, it's different from OTR, partial. Like they're a different animal. So do your research, GGC. Do your research. So, all right. Well, this was a very informative live. I'm glad all you guys showed up. Hit that like button for me. That's all I ask for you guys, to hit the like button. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. I appreciate it. They definitely the soldiers, driving 1,000 miles straight, I made a drive from Portland to Chicago on a run in 2019, maybe 2020, I can't remember. On a move. I drove it back. We were booked, short staff. I ran and I did that. That drive killed me. Like, I me personally, I'm not, so for people that can do 1,000 miles straight, 17, 18 hours, salute. I can't do it, so that's why I got respect for them. Expedite, guys. You know, so it is what it is. I appreciate you guys. Hey, Axel, make sure you give me your email. You said your email is on your channel. Let me pull up your channel because someone asked. So let me show your channel to give you your shout out real quick. Show your channel. 1 second. I'm subscribed to your channel, so it should be on my. Hold on, let's see. Axel Live. I know I'm subscribed to it. Axel Live, there it is. Let me share the screen. All right, let me share. Where is my eCam? All right, let's share this. Share screen. All right, so this is Axel's channel. Make sure you guys go subscribe to him. Oops. Make sure you guys go subscribe to Axel, his channel. A lot of good information on Expedite. Let me get your email off of here. Yeah, I'll get it once I go off. And then I'll send you an invite. And then we can test this out. So you guys make sure you go subscribe to his channel. He has all the good Expedite information. That's what it's about, guys. Pointing people in the right direction as well. If there's someone else that has more experience or a broader knowledge base on a specific area, then I'll point you in that right direction. So he's good on that. As far as partial middle mile, you want to probably go to, well, you don't probably want to go, you want to go over to On Track Trucking Kirk. Amazon, you got Motivation and Box Trucking, you got Big Vic. So those guys, that's what they do. The Box Truck Couple, they have good content. If they're what makes their channel unique as an older couple, they're giving hope for older couples, showing you that you can get out here, and they're showing you this industry from an older perspective. I got a chance to speak with Miss Chrissy last week. So there's a lot of content creators out here that are making content that you guys can go check out. Let's see. Yep, 1,000 miles Sam Lincoln, super informative. Lito, you can always watch the replay. It'll be up because I'm about to end this live, so it'll be up. Shout out to all my Mentor Game members. Shout out to Pippi holding down the chat as always. Hey, Pippi had to put in work the other day, man. She had to kick out the first person, man. My chats is always peaceful. But one cat came in. I guess I don't know what his issue was. He was cool at first, and then he got to rambling like I'm some new jack. Dude, I've been doing this since 2010. I ain't no new jack. Who you think you talking to? He just got beside himself. I called this bluff, and I ain't heard from the man since. But Pippi actually put in some work. She had to use that tool on Thursday. She got a cherry pop. She kicked the first person out the chat. So shout out to Pippi. We'll give her a round of applause and a Jamaican air horn. And we're going to give a SpongeBob to the guy that got kicked out. All right? So I just wanted to use those sound effects. I forget that I got all this stuff here. I be so running my mouth, I forget I got all this stuff to use. All right. But shout out to Pippi for getting a cherry pop, kicking somebody out the chat the other day. Pippi is my moderator. Pippi Short Stocking. That's my moderator. She holds down the chat. If you get out of line, she's gonna pull that toolie out. She's going to pull the toolie out and use the toolie. We don't want Pippi to pull the toolie out. She had to pull the toolie out for the first time the other day. So it's all good in the hood. You know, we run a peaceful chat over here. Like, it ain't too much riffraff over here. So, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I like about the community. I saw everybody engaging. As I got a little lost in the comments, I got behind and I seen people helping people out. And that's what it's about, guys. That's why I try to create topics to push the engagement in the community, because we need that. Even with the videos, a lot of videos, some of the videos I do are informational. Some of the videos I do are to push engagement. I dropped a video today, a lot of engagement. So I'm gonna continue to do that. Next Sunday is Christmas, so I won't be on next Sunday. I believe New Year's Day is on a Sunday, if I'm not mistaken. What day is New Year's? Is New Year's on a Sunday? All right, so New Year's is on a Sunday. I may go live New Year's Day. What the hey? I may go live. I mean, you guys ain't going to be doing nothing New Year's Day anyway, because you're going to be drunk from the night before. So around 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, you'll just be waking up, right? So I'll probably go live New Year's Day. I'll probably try to do something fun on New Year's Day. I'll try to figure something fun to do on New Year's Day. To bring in the new year with you guys. So I won't be on next Sunday. I'll definitely be on this Tuesday. So 2 days from now I'll be on Thursday. Thursday will be the Christmas show. Sunday is Christmas, so you won't see me again until Tuesday, Thursday, and then I'll probably do a New Year's show. So yeah, guys, I appreciate you guys for hanging in there with me. Very informative. For those that came in late, the replay will be up after this goes off. I'm gonna email you as soon as I end the live, Axel, and then we can try to test this out, and we'll go from there. A game would be fun. Yeah, I'm gonna think of something to do, and for New Year's Day. All right, maybe Thursday as well. So we might do something both. So I appreciate you guys. I'll talk to the guy, whoever comes in Tuesday. I'll see you guys Tuesday. Other than that, if I don't see you again, for those that only come on Sunday, Merry Christmas. And if I don't see you after Christmas, Happy New Year. So Merry Christmas, Happy New Year for everybody else. I'll see you Tuesday and Thursday. Make sure you hit the like button on the way out, guys. Be safe.